What's up with the folks out there?
Misfits World.
I love it.
Misfits World. Misfits World. For life. Misfits World. MWO. For life. Misfits World Order. MWO.
Time to get paid, blow. Time to get paid. Time to get paid. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. 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 Promise it's all good. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up. So-called Willie's thumbs and rap the dawn. Get in that ass, kick fast like Ramadan. It's that rap phenomenon. Dada, fuck Papa, you got the. Call me Francis MH, white intake like toast. So iron, was told me shoot out, stay low and keep firing. Keep extra clips for extra shit. Who's next to flip on that cat, that grip on rap? The most shady, Frankie baby. Ain't no time to your rain on the top. I'm short like leprechauns as I crush so-called Willie's thumbs and rap the dawn. Get in that ass, kick fast like Ramadan. It's that rap phenomenon. Dada, fuck Papa, you got the. Call me Francis MH, white intake like toast. So iron, was told me shoot out, stay low and keep firing. Keep extra clips for extra shit. Who's next to flip on that cat, that grip on rap? The most shady, Frankie baby. Ain't no telling where I may be. May see me in DC at Howard Homecoming with my man Capone. I'm in fucking something. You should know my stilo. Went from 10 G's for low to 30 G's a show to 4 G's with O's I never seen before. Flow. Jesus, get off the notorious. Clean us before I squeeze and bust. If the beef between us, we can settle it. With the chrome and metal shit, I make it hot like a kettle get. You're delicate, you better get who sent you. You still pedal shit. I got more rides than great adventure.
Oh, when you gonna do it?
Biggie. 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 Kick in the door.
Been a long time. Been a long time. A long time. I've been in the game. Been a long time. Been a long time. Been a long time. A long time. I've been in the game.
Your rain on the top was short like leprechauns as I crush so-called willies, thugs, and rapadons. Get in that ass quick fast like Ramadan. It's that rap phenomenon, non-data. Fuck Papa.
Buenos dias. So I got a special guest backstage, so I'll stop the intro. So let's get to it. One more intro. I want to put this out there. Then I'm going to bring up my guests. Here we go. Buenos dias, Barbara R. Vic Ferrari in the chat. What's going on, peeps? So, without no further ado, let's bring up the man, the myth, the legend.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Don't stop believing. Hold on to your feeling. Street life, people.
I only talk to God when I need a favor. And I only pray when I ain't got a prayer. So who the hell am I? Who the hell am I to expect a savior? Oh, if I only talk to God when I need a favor. God, I need a favor. I know amazing grace, but I ain't been living down well.
You know why? We're almost there. It's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. And they don't want you to know that. They don't want to give you that.
Buenos dias, Victor.
What is up?
chilling. Yeah.
Hey, man. I'm a guest, yes. Special, nah.
We're all special in our own special way, I guess. You know what I mean? What's up, buddy?
I was just another guy, man. Just another guy. Hey, man, everything's cool, man.
How was
Had a
your
pretty
Memorial Day?
it was pretty mellow weekend.
Yeah.
My nephew came on Saturday and hung out. He spent the night, and so we got to play some cards and stuff with my sons and just hang out. And it was good to catch up with him. And then he took my boys up Sunday because they were having a graduation party / Memorial Day party for his brother. So he took the boys up there. So I just kicked back, and then they came back yesterday. He actually surprised me and brought my daughter with him. I didn't know she was coming down. So I got to spend a couple hours with her yesterday. Yeah, and that's always good because since she's moved up to the Bay Area, we talk all the time, but I don't get to see her that often.
Hey, Dagmar.
And so it was cool, man. We got a really good relationship. She's actually because some people that questioned last time when I mentioned having a daughter, because I always talk about my boys, but so she's actually my stepdaughter from my previous marriage, but I was around since she was 4 years old. So she's my daughter.
You're the dad. Yeah, of course.
She's my daughter, and she says she has a relationship with her, with her biological, real dad. In fact, they lived together. Her and her dad lived together, so he was around too. But I mean, she's to me, she's my daughter. So I don't use the word step. Sometimes I do just to clarify things, but she's my daughter. Anyway.
Oh, yeah,
so that was cool. We got to hang out a little bit.
What was it? It was going to rain yesterday, which it did. It was thunderstorm. So what they did something on Sunday. I wasn't feeling it. You ever, it's like, party, it was hot. I was like, I don't know. So they all leave, and my son comes out of work or something, and I guess they sent him out on a mission. I can't say no to that fucking guy. I love my son, but I just can't. He just doesn't take no for an answer. So I got dressed and I wound up over there. I'm glad I went. You know what I mean? I didn't just stay here, but I had a good time. You know what I mean? Just family reunions. I don't know. I love my family, but I'm not happy to see everybody that's there for some reason or another. It's like there's always that one or two family members that you want to stay away from because maybe they drink too much, they become, huggy, kissy type people. And I got an uncle that loves to kiss and hug, and he says hello to me at least 10 times every time he sees me. It's like, I'm one
Right.
of those guys. Yeah, but I had a good time, man, for sure.
That's good, man. That's good. It's better than, sitting around and dwelling on, the negative and what's going on, man. That's
Well,
good
I've
to
been
hear.
working on that thing that what I'm talking about. I've been working. I'm actually pretty
Yeah, yeah.
focused on that, and I'm taking my time with that.
Okay.
So that's gonna be pretty
Cool.
epic. We we might
Mhm.
probably do a premiere. I was thinking maybe do a premiere, but with that, I don't know. Whatever you want to do with that, I mean that's up to you though. I think that
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you. I'll let you know.
I think
I
it
got a lot
deserves
of.
that type of attention. For
Right,
sure.
right. I got a lot of things, rattling around in my
Yeah,
mind with all this.
Hey, Brandon, how you doing? Brandon Mitchell in the building.
Brandon Mitchell.
Yeah,
Brandon Mitchell.
remember Brandon?
That's
Brandon?
that's an old name I haven't heard in a while.
He's an old
So
school.
right on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how far back Brandon goes. I think he goes back a little bit. Yeah, for sure. Mhm.
Well, he was on. I mean, he was part of Joe's, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, that's where I met him
At least in
originally.
chat. I don't know about panels,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Yeah. So,
And maybe anyway. Yeah.
yeah. The talk of the town is obviously Mike C. Tommy just dropped a video. A video that I obviously, listen, I'm lucky I have Rumble because everything that I've ever made is copied from YouTube to there. So I can always go back um, and rewatch, old stuff. But I didn't remember this whole thing with Father Show, Tommy. I can just go ahead and just probably share it. I don't think Tommy will mind. But you were there. That's what hit me. I'm like, what the fuck is Vic Ferrari doing there? So let's play it. Let me see. Just try to find it. Let me get this right here. So Tommy just put this like a couple, like but I always put Tommy TV. It's actually the Shady Spot. Shady Spot. Yeah. So I guess he found an old clip. Mike.
Brandon,
Yeah.
that was a long time ago. Yeah, man, we've been doing this for a while, man. I can't believe it's
I'm not gonna lie.
for me.
I'm
It's
good
at
with.
this much
Yeah.
legs, man. Yeah, dude.
I
That's
mean,
okay. Do what you need to do. So to let you know, I'm gonna try and look in the chat today, and I might be moving around a little bit on my phone. So if I drop out, I'll come backstage.
okay.
Sometimes
No
I
problem.
hit the wrong buttons and things.
Yeah.
That's why
So
last time I just sat my phone and I didn't touch it because I know I do funny things.
Shut. Okay. My bad. It kind of started playing by itself. Okay. So let's share this. Okay. Here. All right. And let's share. And away we go.
You get so angry. So you're getting so angry over what?
Behavior. And I can tell you this: you're not going to use satire. And I can tell you this:
I'm not using you for satire. Not at all. Not at all. I am not. I'm a little offended that you said that.
Yeah, so it's 10 minutes. So if you want, I can fast forward to the part where he was threatened.
Hey Vic, do you actually know Father Cho? Have you ever had a conversation with him or anything? Vic?
YouTube.
Hmm?
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I hear you
me
now. Yeah. No, you cut out real quick.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, not off of YouTube. He had asked me one time, way back when I had left Joe's, to come up, and he wanted to, interview and talk to me about all that. But I passed on doing that. But that's about the only time. I don't really have a.
Well, he's been around as far as I can remember. I think that's one of the first channels I used to go visit and troll on actually. But just continue to play. I'll play some of it. I'm not gonna play it all. I want people to go over there and watch this and give them what I mean?
Threatening. So hold on. Because
Tommy, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
Okay, all right, shit.
What he's doing? I'm just watching what he's playing. I know, but why?
This is on the internet, Mike.
Mike doesn't like to look bad, is what it is, Tommy. Mike doesn't like to look bad. But Mike, this is what you do. This is the type of shit.
Bro,
this is the type of person you are.
It's public, man. You can
You
watch
porn
it
bomb.
anywhere.
You porn bomb, and you hang out
You're
with.
still gonna go with the porn bomb?
Exactly.
You're gonna go with the porn
He
bomb?
already
Shit, quit
admitted that
crying.
he does that. He admitted that.
Dumbass. Quit crying, Mike.
Everybody's got shade, Mike. Don't get mad.
Okay, I'm.
Well, let me forward because I don't want to. You know, this is his content, so I want some people. I just want people to go over there and just.
Dave, I can't tell what it is.
It's
Hey,
Mike.
turn your mic up again, man.
All right, my bad. I look like a fucking giant, bro. I don't know.
No, you just showed a fucking rifle on your live stream.
Was that your rifle or his?
No, it's Mike Cerrone's rifle from another.
I remember this now. Yeah, the rifle.
We're watching a video. It's not
already on YouTube.
Yeah, it's already on YouTube right here. Okay, this is insecure man-child flexes gun on live stream. Okay, and it's okay. We're not gonna show.
You just showed it. You just showed it, dude.
No, I am showing the gun.
You just showed a rifle on.
Hey, didn't Dr. Dave do the same thing? Didn't he?
Yeah. Dave pulled out he pulled out some semi-automatic weapon and told another person to suck on it. Suck on this. To pull
I don't get that. It's like, it goes along with the whole. I don't know. Let me play a little bit more of this, then we get
to this fucking page.
He showed the barrel of the rifle. That's fine. It's not a problem.
The channel taken down. They can take the channel.
You cannot get the channel taken down for showing the barrel of a fucking gun. It's not in a threatening manner. Just stop, Mike. Stop.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
All right. I think you get the gist of it. Yeah. So I dropped Tommy's Tommy's link so that you can go finish watching that over there. Now, what would get into a person? You know, I know a lot of people flex. There's a lot of people. Oh, I'll go do this, and I got tanks and rockets to come get you, and I get all that. You know what I mean? I've seen people boast about the things they have and what they can do to people and all that. Which is, I've never been a bragger. I don't tell people. But what gets into a person's mind to actually show a gun? Like what is he trying to prove? I guess that's the question I'm trying to think.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because
I think in going back to
using a gun is a whole different story. You can show anybody a gun, but I don't know. It's kind of just a type of a. I would just like to ask, hey, just one Sue, what's going on?
I think in Dr. Dave's case.
Yeah.
It was alcohol induced that night that he did that. Yeah. He was obviously drinking pretty heavy, but I think it's just the bravado of it and the anger. You get so mad that you do these things.
Yeah.
And I always say what I was taught was before there's anger, there's fear.
Yeah.
And I know if you say that to Mike or Dave, they're gonna rant and rave about that. They're not afraid of anything and this and that. But of course you are. You're something's intimidating you.
Vic is not saying people are cowards. It's not that. Before anger, there is fear. There is some type of fear. That's what drives people to do things sometimes. It's they feel intimidated somehow, so they have to somehow push back, and that's the way they push back, by showing off the barrel of a gun. Hey, Nova. How you doing? But I guess you will have to. I don't know.
That is probably true, Nova.
Maybe
it makes me a little uncomfortable. Yeah, it's
sure.
And that goes for me too. I mean, I'm not saying that that it's just other people. I mean, that was what I was taught. Why are you so angry? What are you so mad about? And then they said, hey, before that, there's fear. You look at people on TV doing all this crazy stuff. There's fear of losing something, and it's usually an irrational fear. Whatever that fear is only in your mind. It doesn't really exist.
It goes
it's not about being a coward.
Yeah,
right. It doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm
Yeah, it
sorry.
doesn't mean you're afraid of a person. No, it doesn't mean you're afraid of a person or necessarily. You could just be afraid of a situation, right? I
Exactly.
mean, some people are afraid of certain races because they don't, they don't know them. I mean, 9/11 created that big fear of,
That's true.
Muslims and anybody that looked different, and or it could be just a fear. There's a lot of fear right now of people losing their perceived, white privilege or whatever you want to call that, right? Whatever hold they
Yeah.
think that they have, the fear of losing that creates this division. So that's what I mean by fear. I'm not saying that Dave and or Mike or like I said, I'm not saying they're cowards. I'm saying, but there's something going on that's intimidating them here, and that's why they do it.
I come from a Latin family, and machismo, meaning that
Machismo.
yeah, the machismo, like it's like we can't be embarrassed in no type of way, especially by women. You know what I mean? And that's old school thinking,
Right.
by the way. I think the Latino family within itself has grown from that. We've gotten away from that machismo type, barefoot and pregnant type bullshit that it used to go on back when I was a kid. So, but even here on YouTube, I see, well, if you don't clap back, you're a coward, or if you don't confront, you're expected to do certain things here on the drama community, especially. You're expected to do certain things, and if you don't, well, you're tagged this and that and the other. I know what I am, and that goes for everybody. Should know that you know who you are. You don't have to let people on YouTube or any other place define who you are because you don't choose to engage, or if you do engage, you know what I mean. Sometimes people are watching and they expect you to act a certain way, and I'm in the space now that I just don't want to do things for just doing it, just for flexing purposes, so people can say, "Oh, did you see Angel do this and that?" It's like there was a clip that somebody put out, and I was humbled by it, but Angel confronts Mike Cerrone or this and that. I didn't really like the title because I'm like, I wasn't planning on confronting that guy. That's not the type of I don't want to come across like that no more. Like this gatekeeper type entity, you know what I mean? I want to move away from that actually.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. I mean, sometimes people need to be called out for their
Oh no doubt.
For their shenanigans.
She said, I don't know. Everybody start talking. Just kidding. No, listen, Dagmar. Listen, me and Vic, when we talk. I mean, hours go by sometimes, but I gotta cut in real quick because Vic will take over the show. Yes, he would.
Right, that's exactly true. I was going to say if Angel doesn't keep filibuster it, I'll talk forever. I went back and I listened. To the last one that we did. Right, that was the first time I've listened to myself on a panel.
What did you think about yourself? I forgot to ask you that.
So two things came on the delivery. Two things came across to me.
Yeah,
man, I could be very loud.
Mm-hmm.
And damn, I don't shut up. Like, Jesus, man.
People, it comes with after doing it a little while. I find myself I cut people off sometimes. It's like I anticipate when you're gonna finish talking. You're hard to gauge sometimes because you talk, but then you go low. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is my time, and then you continue to talk. So I gotta
come back in, right?
Yeah. But it's just practice.
I got you.
It's practice, yeah. But don't worry about it. I cut people off all the time.
It was. But it was interesting listening to myself though. But I was like, man, because people always tell me, man, you got a loud voice, and I'm like, no, I don't think so. Then I listened to that, and I was like,
I hear that a lot. A lot of people don't like the way they. I love going back and rewatching just so I can tweak stuff. Not that I'm an egomaniac. It's just I want to see why I went wrong or how I don't know. You don't like your voice, you said, or something like that. I don't know. You have a man.
Yeah.
You have a manly voice. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I got a voice for radio and a face to match.
Yeah. Some people make fun of my laugh, but that's my laughter. I have this belly laugh. You know what I mean? I just don't. Now I don't
Right.
have a
Me too.
Mike Cerrone type of it sounds like more of a. And I'm not trying to call him a ape or anything, but it comes like from a. When laughs are phony or you're forcing a laugh, it comes off really
Mhm.
really obnoxious, right? It's like that's the I don't want to come off like that. But my kids love my laughter though.
Oh wow! Good morning, Prairie. There's an
Prairie.
old friend I haven't seen in a
I
long time,
know.
man. That's an old school. That's an
Yeah.
old school
I like
friend
to
of
see
mine
these.
right
I like
there.
to
Good to
see
see
these
you, Prairie.
people. Yeah, these people are. They go back. You know what I mean? It's like uh, a lot of these people I gotta thank for because a lot of these people. If it wasn't for a lot of these people, I wouldn't even fucking be on YouTube to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? The encouragement that I got back then, that they were so supportive. You know what I mean? And I really owe it to them because I think I would have left the first week on YouTube. I think I would have left, but because these people were like Bart, um, and the other ones that came from that channel, so it's like they're still around. You know what I mean? Um, Not all of them all around, obviously, but the ones that matter are still around. They still come visit me and stuff. So that's what's up. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is the thing. I'm having a little more issues with. I don't know. I have better days and worse days with my eyes, and today's kind of a not so good day. So I was trying to send Bart the fist emoji, and
So let
3
me ask you.
different times I thought it was something else,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
So you don't have to answer any questions. Obviously, some things I won't ask you because I wouldn't share it.
Sure.
But there are going to be certain procedures you're going to have to go through, right?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to have. So I had one procedure on my left eye or my right eye already. I had to have something removed from inside the eyelid and then make sure it wasn't infected. So I got to go back in a few days for them just to check that that's healed okay. And then I'm gonna have to have cataract surgery on both eyes,
Right.
and then once I get that done, then they'll be able to determine if there's any kind of other damage to my right eye. My left eye is okay; it's just a cataract. But the right eye, they can't do the scans and anything and see if there's any additional damage.
Anything
I'm
to
hoping
prevent.
not. And
Yeah. I mean, I don't know
yeah,
with the eyesight. I don't know a lot about eyesight, but any what's it called, preventative care, like to try to not cure it but stop the disease from developing, any type of that
well,
going on.
I'm on drops right. Yeah, I'm on drops right now. But I
Yeah.
can tell over the last like few weeks that it's gotten worse. And morning time is worse. It's like a film, with the cataracts.
Yeah.
It's like
Uh-huh.
having a film over your
Yeah, I
eye.
looked it up
And so
actually.
over the
I looked it
course,
up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and over the course of like the night and sleeping, it gets worse. So
Now let me
mornings
ask you this:
are
where does that come
always
from?
more
Is that
difficult.
a generic, something that came from your genes, or something that?
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know. They had seen it developing a couple years ago, and then the guy and my optometrist at the time says, you're pretty young to have it, and it's not like it wasn't affecting me then. He's like, but it will get worse.
mm,
Unfortunately, as it got worse, is when like some of my mental health stuff was kicking in. So I
yeah.
just didn't have the motivation to get it taken care of, and so that was my
Yeah.
doing. If
Yeah.
I would have got it taken care of when I should have, I wouldn't have got to the point, especially the right eye. That's just, I mean,
Well,
I
listen,
can't
buddy.
see out of it at all.
I gotta
But
tell you, bro. I talk to you a lot. I would have been fucking. I mean, I think a lot of people would have been fucking depressed and ready. It's like I said before that sometimes people overcome addiction, and then I don't want to say God, but then something tragic happens, and it's something that's really odd to me. Like, wow, that person just went through a whole years of bullshit, overcame that, and now is dealing with this. Do you think having dealt with addiction and all that, that's why you don't seem depressed, you don't seem down, because you have gone through some tough times?
Yeah, I think it's just just a change in attitude where like it did really bring me down, but I try not to stay in that malaise,
In that funk,
in
yeah.
that pit, yeah, and I've learned to accept things for what they are, and I'm I'm optimistic that it's gonna that it's going to be able to be corrected.
Right.
At the same time, I prepare myself. I don't, so I made a mistake the last time I went in because they were going to do this procedure. And then I thought, oh man, once they finish this right away, they can get into the next stuff. So I kind of psyched myself out that I'm going to get everything kind of taken care of like right away. Then when they told me, oh, we got to come back in a month and see that this healed and then set up the appointment, I did get a little more, I got a little depressed about that. And that's me setting expectations, right?
Right.
You set an expectation and it doesn't happen the way you think it should happen. But generally it's just a matter of like I have gratitude in the fact that I can see it all. I can't drive, but I can still do my things around the house. I could still hang out with my sons. Like I said, my nephew was here, we could play cards. I mean, I got to look a little closer to make sure that I'm not messing anything up.
Yeah. Does this make any sense? Does somebody just
But anyway, I don't know who
let's
that. I
have
don't know who that
three,
is.
four. Okay. Yeah. Um.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I don't even know. I don't know what that is. But anyway, so that's why. I mean, and I get down, but like I said, I try to be grateful because I know there's people out there that have sight issues worse than mine where they can't see at all, and it's not reversible.
yeah.
So I just keep in the faith, right? Keep in.
You got to keep the faith. Vic, I'm gonna mess with your mic a little bit here, because it's
Okay.
cracking a bit. Say something now.
Okay.
You
Hello.
should be good.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
good. Okay. I just lowered it
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it cracks at the very top. When I mean the top is like
Okay.
volume. They have peaks and valleys, right? So on the very top it cracks. So
Right.
it should be good now.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a kind of a cheap headset. If we move forward doing things, I
I
might
got you. I
invest in
got you.
something a little bit better.
I actually should have. Hey, Ladybug. Good to see you, Ladybug. I'll send you. Listen, dude. You have to take some of the stuff from me. I swear to God, it's gonna just wither away, or I'm just gonna wind up giving it away. So I might as well
Okay.
send you
All right.
a wireless. I think you'll probably do better with a wireless. Or if you want a
Oh,
wire
cool.
one,
Okay.
I have a wire one too. Either or.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
I'll send you pictures of both. I
Yeah.
guess later on.
Okay. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a cheap, thing that I bought just to go on the panels and things, but I know sometimes it doesn't sound all that great. So
Yeah.
my sons,
That's
they got all the
yeah.
fancy
Good.
Bluetooth and I don't know, all the crazy stuff, but
Dude,
that's not me.
I'd rather just have the wire, bro. I have the Apple AirPods and this and that, and while I'm live, they go dead, and I just don't like the wireless. I'd rather just do the
Right.
wire because I know I'm
Yeah.
not gonna.
I'm a
I don't have to
simple
worry
guy,
about
man.
battery or anything like that. Yeah, it kind of
Mhm.
simplify it a
Just
little bit.
plug it in and
Plug it in,
go.
plug it in. Exactly. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
have
know.
to agree a little bit with what Prairie said right there.
What's this? Let me see.
About the
I must
pharmaceutical industry.
push a bit so much push. Yeah. Well, listen, that is a business, a $1 billion business, and uh, people always talk to me about there's cures for things, but they don't want to put out the cures because there's no money in the cure, right? So
Hmm.
that's a conspiracy. I can't really say 100% that's to be true. I will hope not. You know what I mean? But I don't doubt it either. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. Um,
Right. Well, I can tell you. I mean, they, in my opinion, and I know some people, need pain medication. They need pills, and I mean, I'm not saying that this for everybody, but I think they push that kind of stuff too much on people, and they want to
they
put
do.
people on these pain medic. So and my very simple story with that is I had having issues with my knee. I had taken a fall, and I hurt my knee. And I'd got in at X-ray. They said nothing was going on. I went to my regular doctor, and it was swollen and kind of it was bothering me. I mean, and I asked him. I told him what happened, and he looked at it, and he's like, "Well, we could get another X-ray." And But the first thing he said before he even said that is like, oh, okay, I'll prescribe you some pain pills.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I don't want pain pills. I want to know what the hell's wrong with my knee, right?
Yeah, that's the first thing they do.
And
Pain medication.
me being an addict, the last thing I need is to start taking pain pills. I mean,
Right.
if I don't need them, and so I was just like, yeah, I'm in the pain pill, but that's just masking the issue. I want to know if there's something actually wrong with my knee. It turns out that it was just a deep bone bruise, and then he said there could be the early stages of arthritis in there too.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't know.
yeah,
Or I'm just getting old. It could be a little bit of everything.
yeah. Well, you know it more than most what I go through and stuff like that. I don't believe in pain medication. I just don't. I'm definitely afraid of it. I really am. I've seen the downside. There's a pill epidemic here in Philadelphia, as a lot of people know about that, and I just don't believe. There's other alternatives. Now, I don't like to. I'm not a doctor, you know what I mean? Yeah, I go through my, I go through some stuff, but I don't like to get too much. I'm not going to tell people not to take their pain. I don't know their tolerance of pain. I think over time, I think I've built up a tolerance for. You can actually get through it. I swear on everything I have. I do take some things to help me, but I don't really believe in narcotics to help you with pain. I mean, after a surgery, okay. Well, that's different. You know what I mean? So I'm not talking about that type of stuff. You might need.
I mean, I'm an advocate. Yeah, I'm an advocate of CBD and taking marijuana. I don't do it personally because I don't have anything to do it for. But I would I know people that use creams and they take gummies, and I would say that's 1,000% better than any pain medication that you can get hooked on.
The thing with the gummies, I got one that my son gives me once in a while. I mean, I can actually, if I do a lot of homework, I could probably get the one that helps me with the pain and all that. But that has a side effect, which I don't want, which is the munchies. I can no longer. I gotta stop fucking eating.
Oh.
So the one I have now, it helps me with the sleep. It kind of relaxes me.
Yeah.
Doesn't really give me. It gives me the munchies maybe a little bit, but I just there's a side effect with everything, Vic. Everything has a fucking side effect.
Right.
Even the gummies.
Exactly.
So.
Babe, better having the munchies than some of these strong pain medication that's shut down kidneys and stuff. So that's my.
There's something new that came out, by the way. I think I told you about it. So I have to lose weight. Obviously, I can't just join the gym and just start sweating it out with the oldies, right? So, I guess this is injection. Now, the doctor, the specialist. Let me see if my wife comes here. I'll get you the name of the specialist that gives you these injections. Now, you can do this at home. You can get your wife or a caretaker to inject you. And you can lose weight that way. Now, that to me, it seems kind of scary, right? What the fuck makes you lose weight? What type of injection? What's in that stuff, right? So I looked it up. They didn't want to pass it for a long time. You go to Mexico, you can get it practically for pennies. So I'm still debating whether to take it or not, or just do it the old-fashioned way. But things like that kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. You never fucking know what you're really putting in, and then 20 years later, you got an arm coming out the middle of your back. So it's like you gotta be careful. Yeah.
I hear you.
I hear CBD is for the pain. Is that the CBD for the pain? Is that it? I don't know if that's
because you got the THC and the CBD, and the THC is the intoxicant part, and the CBD is the healing element. And now, from what I understand. From a buddy of mine that came to visit with me, and he was talking about that he takes it. They've got it pretty much to almost zero THC. For the longest time, you there was still traces of THC where you'd still feel a little bit of I don't know, whatever you want to call it, headspace movement, right? But he says now they've gotten it almost at the point that there's really, you'd have to eat like 50 of them to get a little bit high. And so That's pretty encouraging. And I know the creams work because when I was weightlifting, I used to have a lot of issues with my joints and stuff. And my daughter was like, "Hey, try this stuff," and man, it was great.
Yeah, my cousin made brownies, I guess, and his wife, she loves chocolate. And
Oh
long
yeah,
story short, she wound up in a freaking hospital because
yeah.
that's when I found out that when the edibles, when they hit the stomach, it hits a lot
Hmm.
harder than when you smoke it.
Hmm.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
So she went through a hell of a scare, man. She ate like two or
Right.
three with milk or
Oh
something,
my
and
God.
she wound up.
Oh.
Yeah, you can only imagine that poor girl.
Oh
Listen,
my
the
God.
last time I smoked weed, Vic, I
Yeah.
was almost under my fucking bed. I was hearing shit. I was telling people to shut up when they weren't talking. So I can't smoke weed. I don't do well on weed. I just don't, man. Yeah. It, Now they got,
That's
it's
that's
a little
funny.
confusing now with all the strands and everything now, but you have to really, really get to the nitty gritty and get, basically go to those dispensaries and they talk about strands. I mean, it's
Hmm?
foreign to me. It's like Chinese to me. I don't know what the hell they're talking about or whatever, but yeah, I just don't want things to be, if it gives me paranoid, forget about it. A lot of people suffer from
Right. Right.
they smoke weed and they become paranoid. You just like they start hearing shit and that's me, man. And I think it's really in the mind, to tell you the truth. I think if I just smoke and fucking relax, um,
Of
I,
course. Of course it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Yeah. I
mental
haven't.
shit.
I haven't. I haven't done any. Yeah. I haven't done any. God, it's been longer that I haven't done any type of marijuana than it is that I haven't drank. It's been probably like It's over 8 years since I've had any kind of weed.
Let me ask you this: what is the
And
medicine that they give alcoholics when they go through withdrawal? What is is it a pill? Is it a shot?
I don't. Well, I mean, when you're going through withdrawals, I mean, it's just a matter of just monitoring your body. But there is a
It's something that they
you
give
know
them so they don't. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know,
it's like
but I know there's the
they get
pill that
yeah. Go ahead.
there's a pill where what makes you sick when you drink. There is that one, and then my caseworker was telling me that there's a something you can take now that supposedly cuts out the urge to drink
Yeah,
the I can't think of the word,
the
but you know what I'm
receptors.
saying.
Something for the
Yeah, and it's like,
receptors.
man,
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting.
What
Um,
they should make. Somebody was talking. I was watching one of these channels that kind of help the people in Kensington. I forget the name of it. I think Tommy D knows the channel. Well, they were talking about making drugs for people so so they don't get sick, like the dope addicts, the crack addicts, something, and
mhm.
that's what they should be concentrating on. Zeli, ¿cómo estamos? ¿Cómo está Zeli? I think that's where they should be actually putting their money. I think the drug industry would, still be able to sell their fucking drugs. It's not a cure. Obviously, they have Suboxone. They have for the dope addicts. They have that. What did you call that orange stuff? What you call that? Forget. Anyway, whatever people take when they're in withdrawal. You imagine a pill or a shot that stops all that. That doesn't. It just kind of it doesn't block the drugs because a lot of those that they do is it kind of blocks the drug. You can't get high. So if you take supposedly if you take a Suboxone or you take a methadone, um, when
Right.
you go get high, you don't get high, right? It's like a blocker of some of sorts.
Mm.
So that's what I understand. I could be wrong, but that's what I understand. It's like a blocker. Now, I don't think they should make blockers. I think they should make something that tricks your brain into thinking it's already fucking high. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And but not have the feeling of
Yeah,
being
that's
high.
kind of,
Yeah,
yeah, that's interesting.
yeah. Well,
I don't know.
there's a lot of theories.
I
A lot of people
detoxed
talk
under a
about.
pool table, so
I know you told
I
me
didn't
about
have
it.
any
That's pretty
meth.
bad. That's pretty. That's
I
pretty.
just curled up under a pool table and hope I survived.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, man. I mean, listen, and God bless you, because a lot of people wouldn't have made it through something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh
Um,
man, that sucked, man.
I mean, I
But
listen.
hey, it's all right.
I sounded so, I don't want to say ignorant. I just didn't fucking know. So I'm 55 years old, but that doesn't mean that I know everything. I didn't know that you can die from alcohol withdrawal. I told you that last time. I did
Oh
not
yeah,
know that you can
yeah,
actually
yeah.
pass away from,
Hmm.
and it's worse than any other drug. I'm like, how could it be though? You know what I mean? What you withdraw from dope, and it's worse than alcohol, and they're like, yep, you can actually die from it. So what is it
Hmm.
that you die from? The dehydration? What actually kills you? What does it
Well,
actually?
one thing, especially depending on what you drank, um, is the lack of sugar is
Okay.
one thing, and because
Oh,
your body is just craving that, and it just it ends up shutting down. You gotta be careful, man.
it's tricky.
My suggestion to people, if you're really in that kind of situation, is you go to a hospital or rehab, and they'll do it. Um, they'll
Yeah, they're rerouting a lot of
if you go to
prison. Yeah.
a jail, they might throw a blanket on you, and that's about it. But that's from what I hear.
Yeah.
My suggestion would be to do it, right. I mean, I never felt like I said, even though I was under the table and I was paranoid and I was shaking, I never really felt in danger.
And
If that
danger, right?
if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like I was,
Mhm.
yeah. If I did, I'd like to think I would have called 911 on myself. I don't know, man. Our minds are so warped at that point that
It's
I don't
interesting
know.
because my daughter was telling me they're not taking if there's people, the prisoners, or they arrest somebody that's under the influence and it's either alcoholic or drug addict. They don't the 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 police stations are not taking them. They're rerouting them to the hospital first, and they got to get
Right.
looked over. And if they have they like they're alcoholic or they're drug addicts, they have to deal with that first and then arrest them later on. And that's the way they're doing it now. I guess because a lot of people were dying in the jails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From withdrawals. I think it's the humane way of doing that shit. If you got to arrest somebody, you can
Right.
always arrest somebody. Take care of them
Okay.
first, their needs, whatever. And because they used to throw
Right.
people in the fucking jail and don't give a fuck. You know how it is, Vic. Um, with no
Well,
thought.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. And then, yeah.
But the
Hey, I
people
don't
pass
know
away.
if you're looking. I don't know if you're looking at the chat, but
Yeah.
Zell had asked about coming up. I'm just
Oh
okay.
yeah. Zell, she knows a little bit about this type of stuff for sure. Let me get this.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just asked. I don't know
Of
if you
course.
saw it or not.
Yeah, I know. I didn't see it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then
So is it
I know
are you
she
still
wrote something
charging the
about Vivid.
$5?
Something. Yeah.
Right. Are you
Check
still charging the $5 to come up on panel?
No, actually, I don't. I just I stopped doing that. You know what I mean?
That's just for me. That's just for me. I'm the only one that's got to pay the $5. Okay, I got
I
you.
will only do that if it gets rerouted to a to an actual. Let me put a thing up. Give me a second, Zelly.
Yeah, you should charge people if people restream you. That should be the new thing.
Hey, that's free for advertising, bro. All right, there you go. Zelly,
What's up?
¿Cómo está, mija?
Ay, bien. Everything good?
Yeah.
It's been a minute. It's been a
I know it's
while.
been a minute. Yeah, the last time I was on, I think it was, but that was Larry's channel though. Yeah, I saw you there. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that you were finally back on. I was like, oh, finally.
yeah. Hey, listen, you got Victor over here with somebody to throw some idea, somebody that's smart that knows about why not go live, right?
Of course.
They come to see him. They don't even come to see me, to tell you the truth.
Hey, Vic. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
Zell,
you guys
how
know
are you?
each other?
Everything going okay for you?
You guys know each other, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Yeah.
I've heard of Vic.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's good for you right now?
Oh, hell yeah. I got an amazing
Good.
job. I got new boyfriend, everything.
Oh,
Cool.
good for you. Good for you. Nothing like fresh
Right on.
starts, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Word. But
How
yeah.
we're talking about a little bit. Do you mind sharing a little bit about? Yeah. So, what works for most commonly, right? There's dope, there's crack. Everything has a different type of uh, it's all addiction, but there's different methods of. And you said something about Vivitrol. What is Vivitrol?
Yes. So Vivitrol pretty much blocks you out completely. So Vivitrol, you have to be clean. I'm not like it's an estimate. I don't know if it was like 3 days or something like that from the drug. But it's like in the beginning, Vivitrol was supposed to help for alcoholic people, like people who had like an alcohol problem. That was supposed to help them to not drink as much. You know, it's supposed to like block them from that. But now
So,
they
but when
found
you say
that
block,
Vivitrol.
yeah,
Yeah,
when you say block, so that means the person drinks, they don't feel the effects of the alcohol. That's what you mean?
correct. Yes, it'll
Ah,
block it.
okay.
Like they'll get sick if anything if they continue drinking. They just won't feel that
Interesting.
high.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now scientifically they've been finding that Vivitrol actually now helps with drug addiction, with like cocaine.
Mm.
It's supposed to be helping now. I think they're trying to see with methamphetamines, but it does help with cocaine and heroin a lot. So now,
Ah,
but the thing with heroin though is that if somebody, they have to be clean for 4 days, 3 to 4 days, because if they're not clean, they will get sick and
I see.
the shot will not work for them because they have it
Ah,
in a shot or they have naltrexone, which is like the somewhat of the same thing as a Rivotril, but that's for in a pill form. So a
right.
lot of rehabs now are trying to offer the Vivitrol shot instead of people going on Suboxone and Methadone because Suboxone and Methadone is just a blocker, but people
A
can still get
blocker.
high off
Yeah.
of it. You know, like if you don't
Right.
take a Suboxone for a day, you could go the next day and go get high. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Right. Right.
So
I thought that
that's
the
why.
Suboxone stays in your system for a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, and but the thing with Suboxone and Methadone, you withdraw from not taking it. So if you stop taking or if you're cutting
Oh,
down,
okay.
you
Yeah.
will get sick. You'll have those withdrawals as if you were doing that drug.
So you're
Vivitrol,
replacing one thing for another, basically. But I
correct.
guess the
Yeah.
lesser of the evils is
Hmm.
the methadone and
And
the
the Suboxone.
Suboxone. Yeah.
Yeah, but with Vivitrol, it's non-narcotic. You don't get sick if you stop taking it. I was on it, I was on it not too long ago, and that's helped me a lot. You know what I mean? It's helped me
Well, good
with
for you, Zelly.
rebuilding
I'm proud of
myself.
you. Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
with rebuilding myself, I was able to keep my sobriety intact. Never had cravings, and that was a good thing that actually helped me with cravings too.
Now, Zelly, let me ask you this. I
Mhm.
know you tried and you're working and you're taking things that. Do you actually go to a uh somebody to talk to, like a 12 step or anything like that, or
Yeah, so I
yeah?
I'll leak it out here. I actually graduated from my outpatient program not too long
Ah,
ago.
okay. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
what's up.
graduated about a couple months ago, about like 2 months ago. I graduated from it.
Mm,
Um, and yeah, everything has been like bendiciones. Like after I graduated from there, I kept taking my Vivitrol pills,
yeah,
instead of the shot. And now I don't even take it anymore because I don't have those urges. I don't have those
yeah.
feelings. I don't have that thing anymore. And
But
yeah, I
but do you?
still talk
Yeah,
to
do
my
you?
therapist.
Right, exactly. That's what I would go to.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, and I know Vic, basically what he's gonna say because he still goes to the meetings. He has a
Mm-hmm.
spiritual,
Yeah.
what do you call it, advisor and stuff like that.
Yeah,
All that helps,
Suboxone.
Ellie. Talking to people that have been through the same things you've been through or even worse.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of course. And now
Yeah.
there's actually this new thing that a lot of people have been doing. Like Prince Harry has done it. A lot of celebrities have been doing it. And I'm actually gonna go into doing it myself. Because I wanted to get a little bit more research about it. Is EMDR. I don't know
What
if
is
you
that?
guys heard about EMDR. So
Uh-uh.
EMDR is like, I don't know how to explain it. It's pretty much like it gets you to your root of your problems. Like it's supposed to help with like PTSD or any kind of trauma that you ever had in your life.
What'd you say? EMDR?
Yeah.
So what is that? Is it a therapy or
Yeah, it's a therapy. It's like
you heard about that, Vic? That EMDR?
yeah.
Vic? I don't know if Vic is still here. Victor? Well, yeah, I gotta look into that. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's like you pretty much sit there and they have to like they'll talk to you, they'll ask you about what your trauma is, like what you've ever experienced, and then they'll like tap your leg, or they'll tell you to like look with your fingers, like, and then like they'll have like their hand in front of you and you have to follow it like back and forth, almost like hypnosis in a way, and they'll
Okay.
ask you questions about it and try to redirect you into thinking about the trauma, but trying to forget it and like trying to get to know like what's bothering you in the inside, because sometimes we don't know why we get angry sometimes, or we don't know like why certain things like trigger us or whatever, you know. Some people
To
do, some
trigger
people don't.
addiction, you mean? That's something that
Yeah, either
you get angry.
addiction or like a
Yeah.
post-traumatic stress disorder that they have, you know, something that's happened to them, some trauma in their life.
Right,
Because
right.
if you really look into why people become addicts, it's because sometimes it could have been a trauma. Sometimes, you know, like for example, I picked up because I was through trauma. You know, I lost a sibling, I lost certain things, you know, so
Mm-hmm.
that was traumatic for me.
Right.
So I always want to know, like, well, why is that? You know, why am I so hurt still? Why am I still feeling this kind of way? And, you know, I've been trying to reflect on it. And like I said, therapy has helped a lot. Like, I don't know if you guys have been hearing my streams and stuff. I
So
came
it's
a long
it's
fucking
eye.
way.
Am I still on?
Yeah, you're on. You're on.
It's
I hear you.
yeah. Okay. So yeah. So it's like a eye movement based therapy
Mhm.
is what is basically what it is. But
Eye
so I
movement.
could how
Yeah.
much how much time do you have clean now?
Now, so I mean, I've been clean since 2020, but I had to do my outpatient program and stuff like that out here in Nevada for my kids and stuff, like, you know, because they put it out there. So I've been honestly clean for a while now, but I just had to do the program yet again. So I've been
Oh,
testing
okay.
and everything, yeah.
So you're saying 2020? So that's like 4 years.
Yeah, from dope. I haven't done dope in a minute, or coke or none of that.
Mm.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
had to do like the program just to, you know, get my kids back, to make sure that, you know, I'm
Right.
not
Right.
relapsing.
Good. Yeah. How are the kids? How are the kids doing? Doing all right?
Yeah, they're good, you know, they're good. So I'm just glad that, you know, everything is going my way. You know,
Yeah.
to keep it brief, but
And
yeah.
you have young
Well,
ones, right? Yeah.
But that's how you're doing. I'm asking how the kids are doing.
Oh, the kids are great. They're good. They're healthy. They're eating. They're happy.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Good.
Yes.
That's always the important thing to me is the children.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the babies are good. They're growing up really good. So that's the best thing. Just seeing their fate, like their faces with smiles.
Right.
The...
Hey, that's what makes you tick.
Have you?
You know what I mean? They
Have
say,
you been?
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to ask
No,
Sal another
I'm
question.
just saying
Go
that,
ahead.
some people focus on something. The goal is to keep your kids happy. That way, that keeps you sober. I think. I think at the end of the day, I would. A lot of people kind of lock into, well, what's gonna make keep me sober. So I think kids are an important thing in your life. I know you love your kids, Zadie. I know you do. So
Yes.
for your kids' sake, you know, you do everything under the sun to keep it clean, so you can raise those kids lo más bien, contento y con bendiciones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hmm. And it's gonna be trials and tribulations. People gonna throw shit at you in the middle of you. They're gonna try to derail you, but you just keep on chugging, girl.
Yep.
Go ahead, Vic.
I mean, you got to. From my experience, I mean, your sobriety, your recovery, has to be for you number one. At least that's how it was for me. Because when
Yes.
I first got in, I was like, oh, I got to save my marriage. I gotta do it for my kids. I got to do all these things. But then when those things still weren't going the way that I thought they should, it was easy for me to get back in the relapse because I was still losing maybe the things that I was going for. But it's got to be for for yourself, number one, because you can't take care of anybody else until you take care of you, and you can't really want it. I mean, having kids or something, a job as a motivation is a good thing, but ultimately it has to be for
Self-love, they
yourself.
call
But the
it, right?
question I was gonna ask Zell was, have you ever been through like the steps with the sponsor or anything like that?
No, I've never had a sponsor. I was
Okay.
actually trying to look into getting a sponsor, trying to see, because
Yeah,
actually,
because
yeah. Mhm.
when you go through the steps and you get into like 4 and 5 and then 8 and 9
Mhm.
is when you look into your resentments, and that's for me where I found these
The
resentments I
root of
had
it.
towards my
Yeah.
yeah, towards my father. I had these, I mean, which I mean, I knew we didn't really get along, but I didn't really understand why until I went through all these and then you find out what your part in is, it right? Because just because someone like did something to you, when what was your part in that situation, right? It might have been,
You
and
got to
even
get to
when
the
we're
root of
kids,
it,
I
I
mean,
guess
we
you're
still have,
saying. Yeah.
maybe because maybe we were abused, but we hold a resentment for the abuser, but then we look at ourselves and say, I didn't say anything, and so I'm mad at myself because I could have stopped it sooner, kind of thing. And you got to get past the resentment for yourself as well. So
That's good
that's
stuff.
my
Yeah.
suggestion. That if you could do that, and you could do the steps through anything. I've been through the steps several times, and I did them one time on abandonment because I got bad abandonment issues because of the adoption and my mom dying, and of course, not lately the divorce. So I actually replaced alcohol with abandonment and went through all the steps, and it's been very
Yeah.
helpful. So anyway, that's just my 2
It's
cents.
it's almost like an onion, just layers upon layers. You know what I mean? I guess you got to peel away the layers to get to the root of what's that makes people. I mean, obviously, you said something about losing a sibling, so that's something traumatic that you went through. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I
Mhm.
like that, Vic. That's a really good idea. It's something I look into because actually out here in Nevada, there's this. I don't know, like I don't know if it's like all over the place. It's called the Phoenix. It's an app for like people in recovery that like you could go to like they have different events like hiking, bowling,
Mhm.
tennis, all these kind of things, and they're all paid for. You don't have to pay anything for it to go, and you meet
Mhm.
with a group of sober people and you all like go do like thing or events. So I was looking into
Mhm.
that to go to, and like I went actually to a meeting last week. So yeah, like it's just been
Does
it's
it help? It's Ellie. Honestly, does
yeah.
it really
Oh
help? Yeah.
yeah, it does because you hear other people's stories. Sometimes their stories are way worse. Like
Right.
especially in Nevada, like there's a lot of homeless people, and they tell their stories how they would be on the streets homeless, and now they have a house, now they have a good job, now they have a car. So
Right.
they went from like having nothing to being able to survive.
Right.
So hearing their stories and me expressing myself and feeling like, hey, I'm not alone. You know what I mean? I went through so
There
much,
you go.
Yeah.
through this, through that. And yeah, I'm still here. The fact of the matter is the people who go get help and want to get help, they're still alive. They're still here. They're still trying to fight, you know?
Right.
So that's why I'm always grateful of like waking up in the morning, having a bed, having like food on my table, having food in the fridge, making sure my kids are fed, making sure my kids got diapers and clothes because
There
there
you
are
go.
out there
Yeah.
that are struggling. They have to go sell themselves or do things to provide for their kids.
Hey, conspiracy music. How you doing? I think his name is Eddie. What's going on? Um. Um.
Mm.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean, it's Eddie.
well, the whole
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say the whole thing behind AA, NA, or the Phoenix, Celebrate Recovery. The whole thing behind it is one alcoholic and one addict interacting with another one because we're really the only ones that can truly relate, understand the other person. I mean, I had so many people over the years just said, well, why don't you just stop drinking? Like, oh damn, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah. Right. Like it's so easy, right?
That's a
Yeah.
good idea. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll just stop and but when you hear the story and like Zell was saying, a lot of times when we're in our own head, we think we're alone. No one else is going through what I'm going through, right? No one's getting divorced. No one's losing their kids. No one's you know, up late at night by themselves, drinking out of a brown paper bag. No shots fired. But anyway, and
Yeah.
but we go to these meetings or we go to these places and we hear these other people telling the same stories, and it's like, oh, I'm not alone. And that's why I always say, I'm not special. I'm not unique. I'm just a garden variety drunk that got tired of it, and that's the whole key. And I consider myself, even though I wasn't in drugs, I consider myself to be an addict as well because I just have that personality, right?
Well,
I have
listen.
it with YouTube. We got
Yeah.
addicted to YouTube. Oh, I got to find out oh my God, what's going on with Zell? What's going on with Angel? Oh, somebody's over there. I got to go. That's why for me, I had to completely get out of it because I can't do, what's the word what's the word I'm looking for? Moderation. I can't do things in moderation. I mean, I'm all in or I'm all out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people, the survivors like you, I know you guys know Jamie from the shit show. I've heard his story too. Um, when you pass that on, I think it helps with your own sobriety. I think when I used to
Of course.
share my struggles, it kind of helped me go through my shit, knowing that other people are even worse than I am. Oh yeah, that really really helped me get through my own shit. So Zeddy, I think you eventually will be doing what Vic does, which is he shares his story just to try to not so much for I think he does it more for just to pass it on. Yeah, you ever heard people passing it on?
Yeah.
So I think somebody did it for him, or does he know everything? Everybody's different. No, but I know what he tries to talk about a lot is is how to stay sober and what and the avenues that he takes. Now, what his road might not be as the same as yours. Or he won't. You probably don't have the accessibility to go through what he's going through. But there are ways. You can't never say never, bro. That's why I don't believe in no, yeah, it's impossible. No, nothing's impossible. Anything is possible.
Yeah, no, everything is possible. Like put it this way, like with my job that I just got, I always wanted it since I was a kid, and I always thought that I would never get it. As I got older, I'm like, oh, it's never possible. Like, there's no way I can get that job because it's so like it's not gonna happen. But then
Hmm.
I went, I got it. Interview, went to school for it. Did everything I got to do, and now I got the job, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
really grateful, and I'm happy about it because
So
you know
keep it up. Keep it
I
up. Yeah.
like I'm able to say, you know what, if you put your mind to it and if you really dream about it, shit can happen. You really
You
can.
gotta want it. You gotta want it, man. And anything in life, you put your if you got people. Obviously, people like to knock people off pedestals. They try to like crabs in a bucket. Of what we saying. People want to drag each other down. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Don't get caught up on that. You know what I mean? Do it like Vic says. I think what I said earlier that do it for yourself first. And I think self love is very important. You know what I mean? And that way you can once you love yourself, you can love others. Uh, even more. You see what I'm saying? So
Yep, very true.
everybody's one thing I've learned through all this is everybody's different. Everybody's road to recovery or the addiction is different. Their circumstances is different. The
Of course.
PS, yeah, it's different. Everybody's
And
has
and
their own way.
I don't know, like Vic, if this has helped with you too, but with me, it's like I enjoy my support network. My support network is such a big thing for me too in my recovery. Having all these people near me, like for example, like I got Keen, I got Blaze, I got, my family. So all these people around me, like, yeah, like all of them have helped me a lot through my struggles. But I'm glad that I was able to find myself again, especially with what I dealt with not too long ago, in that situation, that relationship. I was able to find myself. I was able to love
Right.
myself again and be happy with myself because I realized I was miserable. And now that
Yeah,
I'm able to find that self-love again and heal, it's like I see everything so much brighter now. I see everything more with positivity, more with like, meditation and like the box breathing and all this stuff that I've been doing to really help me make sure that I keep on that right path.
I mean,
Absolutely. We need we
what
need a we
yeah,
need
okay.
a we need a support group. I mean, what my sponsor tells me is, and tell this to Zell. I can't stay sober, and you can't stay sober, but we can stay sober.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah,
You
you
can't do
know,
it alone. I mean,
can't do it
trust
alone.
me, I've tried, and I
Yeah,
can't
I,
do it.
I walked my mom through her struggles and everything. Even went to meetings with her because she was afraid to go by herself. Um, and what I understood why she did what she did, she was and now this is her words. She was committing suicide by via drugs, slowly but surely, because she was afraid to take a knife or do it some other way. I know it sounds kind of graphic, but that
No,
was
no. You know
her.
what they call that? They call that that suicide on the payment plan.
That's exactly something like that. So that was her thing, and it was interesting to think that that's what she was actually doing. She was actually trying to OD somehow and just end it all. You know what I mean? So I've heard stories. Trust me, I've heard stories of um, of addiction, why people are addicted, and it varies. It's very different. I hear there's no one. Um, there's not a template of or it's just so different for everybody. You know what I mean? And I'm just glad whatever makes you happy, whatever keeps you from taking that next shot, or taking that next smoke of drugs or whatever, keep doing it, man. You got people like Vic, you got people like you said, Blaze, you got people like me. If you need somebody that you're gonna fuck up or something like that, hey, you need that support group. I don't think you could do it actually by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stay positive and surround yourself with positive people, and this goes for all of us, but I mean, I'm talking, kind of to Zell in particular. I mean, right now, I mean, it's good to be up on a panel with you and be able just to talk about this without all the
Absolutely. It's a surprise.
chicanery that goes
Yeah.
along with it, the name calling and you did this and
Yeah.
that person did that, and
Yeah.
That has a
all
place.
that stuff
There's a place for
needs
everything,
all
Dudley.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
but
you want to do all that, that's okay. But you want to try to stay in the positive, and like you say,
yeah.
people, like that either on and off YouTube, they're going to lift you up, right? Not the people that are going to try to say, well, hey, you've had enough time now. You're okay to do it, or whatever. I mean that, because they're still out there. People that people are miserable and they want other people to be miserable with them.
Yeah. Hey, look,
Yeah.
And
misery loves company.
it's good to stay in a positive place. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What I would want for you personally is that you stay sober and you be the best mom you can be to your kids. That's it. No
Yeah.
more, no less.
Yeah.
Because I believe in children. I love children. And I think you gotta do better for yourself so you can be a better mom and in every
Yeah.
way. Yeah, you
Yeah.
seem proud, you seem chipper, you seem everything, and I hope it maintains. I'm gonna keep you in my prayers, girl. You know
Thank
what's up.
you. Yeah,
But I'm very proud of you. Very proud of your steps for sure.
thank you. Yeah, I came a long way. It took a minute, but I
Yeah.
got there, and
And
like
there's
I
gonna
said,
be there's gonna be obstacles, and yeah, I think you have some things going on or whatever.
yeah.
But I don't know what's the best advice to avoid those. Not to avoid the obstacles because the obstacles are there, but how to better deal with the obstacles, I guess. So that way you don't relapse.
I
'Cause
mean,
that
like what I've been doing too is like not really being on YouTube as much. It's why like I'll go on my live streams here and there, or I'll go to Docs, here and there whenever he goes live. But I'm really not looking at people's channels, or like I'll block certain people so I don't have to see their comments anymore.
right. Mhm.
Um, and even
Yes.
then, like, even when people tell me, like, oh, they were streaming, I'm like, okay, well, hi guys, go F yourself. You know what I mean? Like, thanks for the views.
It's
Still watching me.
it's
But
like
it's like I
whatever. Yeah.
just laugh about it now. It's like I got to the point where it's like I don't care. And even
Yeah.
with the situation that I'm in, and it's like people say that they moved on and they're living their life, but you're still obsessing. So it's like I'm here living my life, have a new man who's amazing, have my new job, my kids. Like, what more could I ask for? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, keep striving, girl.
Yeah.
Keep striving. The work's not done. You gotta wake up every day. There's gonna be a sun and a sunset, and in between, you just gotta live your life the best way you can.
Yeah, and I mean, like, 'cause I don't know if you know, but yeah, like, I'm with Blaze, so you know how Blaze, he will call me out on my shit, like, he will
Oh
not
no, he
hold
doesn't
back on
play.
nothing.
He doesn't play for
Yeah, he'll
sure.
be like, "What is Zell? Stop your shit," like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck are you
Hey, but
doing?"
you want that, Zell. You want
Yeah.
somebody that's gonna not take your bullshit or they're gonna call you out when you seem to be lying to yourself. Because a lot of us,
Mhm.
what we do is we lie to ourselves. So yeah, my wife does the same thing with me. I can't bullshit. Yeah, I can't. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. I got you. I got you.
Yep. I'm just like, "Damn, okay, yes, babe, you're right. You're right." Like,
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, for sure. Good stuff, man. I'm glad you came up. It's a blessing.
Of
Um,
course. Yeah, it's
yeah,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
let me come up," because I'm usually, like, asleep right now, but I was like,
Well, sooner or later, Vic is gonna have his channel, and it's basically gonna be a lot of it. What went on today, that's what's gonna be on his channel.
"Oh,
So
nice."
just interacting. It doesn't really have to be about addiction because I think addiction is just putting yourself in a box. I think we have enough, and Vic has enough knowledge to basically, uh, you know, just a chit chat, not about so much drama. We are in the drama community.
Yeah.
We're never gonna forget that. But I think we take a break from the drama community. Go visit Vic on his channel, or meanwhile while he builds his channel here, whatever, and
Mhm.
just have discussions about addiction and where you at and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Mental,
because
Mental.
You
There's
know,
a lot of mental illness, by the way. I don't know
yes.
if you noticed. So.
Oh yes. There's a lot of mental illness going on YouTube right now. A lot of people. I've been diagnosed with a lot of people on YouTube. I'm like, oh, this person got this person got that. Like
Yeah,
he's
me
showing
too. I
signs
find
of
myself
this.
doing that. I'm like, you know what? This person is this, and I don't like doing that. For on a personal level, I diagnose people in my head, but I'm not even a fucking doctor.
Exactly. I'm just like, okay, like whatever.
I think we're all a little off.
That's ve-
You know, it's not a bad thing to be
that's what I was going to
off,
say. It's
but
a very simple diagnosis, man. We're all crazy, and
we're all
that's
crazy.
it.
You're crazy as
I
fuck.
mean, that's it. I mean, that's it. Man, we're all fucking crazy. Some a little crazier than others, but
Yeah,
we're all
yeah.
fucking crazy, man.
But
And that's why we all
yeah.
get along and have fun and fight and don't have fun at time. That's why we're all here, because we're all fucked
We're
up.
all melded in some
You
type
know?
of way. Even the people that we don't get along with, and they despise us for some whatever fucking reason it is. We're in this. We're in this together. You know what I mean? It's gonna follow.
That's
Zelly, if
right.
you go to the Spanish community, guess what? They're gonna find out that you were in the drama community. So drama community, you just can't shed. You just can't say, "Well, I'm no longer in a drama." No, it always will follow you. Now, what you can change is your what you do on your panel, what you do on your channel.
hmm
You don't have to focus on the being in a drama community. You don't have to. I love to watch the fucking clip channels and Mike Cerrone this and I laugh my ass off. I find it interesting as hell, entertaining as hell. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but everything has a place and a time. I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah, like too much of it is just it's not good.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't.
Yes,
I can't
amen
do
to
too much
that.
of it. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yep.
it's like anything else. Anything in life. If you eat too much, yeah, it's bad. If anything that's good, if you do it too
Mhm.
much, it's bad. So, um, yeah, for sure.
No.
You guys
Uh,
ever considered that maybe Cerrone is really the sane one in all this?
Who knows? That's
Yeah,
actually
true.
interesting thinking. We're probably we're probably all crazy. He's the sane
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
maybe he's the
yeah.
sane one in all this. Who knows?
Who knows? Hey, COVID, what's going on? Hey,
Uh,
guys, yo, go to this guy right here, man. I'm gonna
Yeah,
drop his
hey
link. COVID.
COVID.
Yeah, he
Salute.
has a
Yeah.
great channel. Has a great channel.
Yeah, he does. I've been to
Yeah,
COVID's a while ago and
yeah,
he's really
good
chill.
guy.
He's one of the people that like I used to go over there and he didn't really give a fuck about what was going on, you know what I mean? Like he just like as long as I
Yeah,
respected him and as long as like we were cool, like he didn't care, and
yeah. It's cool people. He just one of those people that you can't help. You click on the link, and you kind of want to just say hi, but a half hour later you're still there. You know what I mean? So interesting channel for sure.
Yeah, and
Yep.
he's funny too. Like he has some comedic things that he says.
He's Italian, isn't he? Right?
I don't know. No, I don't think COVID's is
He has
Italian.
like an Italian accent. I thought he was
No,
Italian.
I felt like he has like a not Italian, like
No?
not
No.
Albanian, Israeli. I don't know why he sounds
Interesting.
Israeli to me.
Huh. I thought I swore. I don't know. There's so many
Like Israeli or like
accents.
Albanian. I don't know.
Okay.
One
Yeah.
of them too, but I don't really like. I don't hear Italian. I hear more like I don't know. COVID. If you want to tell us in the chat, like I don't know. I was
I've been hanging
thinking.
around Italians too damn much. That's what it is. Everybody sounds Italian to me.
everybody's Italian now, right?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I seen. I went to Honeybees last night. She's doing pretty good. Shout out to Honeybees.
COVID.
And she said, "I'm Caucasian."
Oh my god.
That's pretty
Nice.
good. That's pretty good. Caucasian. Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Honeybees, by the way. Let me put her link out there. She's been doing pretty well, man. She's been following some guy that lives here in Philly that's been scamming or something along those lines, and she's keeping her foot on his neck and not letting him breathe. So that's what's up. You do that because the
Yeah.
people in Kensington are vulnerable and they're not to be taken advantage of for
Right.
for money. You know what I mean? I think that's disgusting.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. So
pretty low, man. Going
yeah,
after people like that.
there's this guy that he go. I don't know his name. I'm not gonna put him out there. That's her job. But he goes out there, films the people in Kensington, and kind of just takes donations and falsely, obviously, he says it's to help the people there, and what he's doing is lining his pockets, and that's pretty low. So yeah. And actually, there's a lot of channels out there that do cover Philly, the Philly. I can actually tell you which ones are legit, that really out there, really helping those fucking people. But there is unfortunately, and on the other side, there's channels out there that they're not really helping these people. And not only in Philly, but you got to be careful with these channels. Sometimes you got to really do your homework and check receipts and all that to see if they're really helping these people like they're saying. Because people, they tend to take advantage of situations like that. So just be careful where you throw your money at. Yeah. Anywho, what's up, Vic?
Not much, man. Just kicking back, listening.
Yeah, I gotta send you that. I gotta send
you
you a headset this weekend or something, so that way you can have a better headset.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. But
are you using
yeah,
your
I was
phone?
gonna say if anybody, yeah, I'm always on my phone.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, always. Yeah, I was gonna say if anybody else, I mean, if it's cool, anybody else wants to come and join the conversation, man.
Absolutamente. Let me drop the linky.
Come on.
How's Blaze doing? Zell, how's Blaze doing?
He's good. He's good. He's been working. He's good.
Now the obvious question, which I'm not gonna even ask. I'm not gonna even.
Oh wait, no! See, now you got me curious. I want to know the question. You can't just say that.
All right, I'll just ask you. You don't have to. You're not obligated to answer.
I don't even know the question, and I don't think you should ask.
You're not obligated to answer. You're really not. It's just I'm just gonna throw it out there, because then people later on, oh, you should have asked her. Are you and Blaze a thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Blaze, burning up, boy. Congratulations. He's a good guy, man. If anybody, Blaze is one of those few people that I've met here on YouTube that's really fucking solid. There's nothing phony about that dude. He tells you things like it is. He doesn't play with his fucking words. So shout out to Blaze, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really like.
Now, to tell you the truth, I didn't see that coming. I really didn't. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
so
it's like,
you can imagine people's surprise, especially mine. I'm pretty surprised. I really am. But that's good though. I think it's meant to be. It's God sent, and I know he doesn't play around with addiction, so he's gonna keep you straight, girl. You picked the right one for sure.
Yeah, like it's like he's very genuine, very honest, and I fell in love with him, and the reason why I fell in love with him is that like he'll call me out on my BS. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's no lying to him, there's no hiding it, like nothing. And I'm just really happy that he's able to help me and really stay with me through all the shit that I've been through. Like with all my headaches. Sometimes, yeah, maybe I give him some headaches here and there, but he's able to like try to calm me down and be like, "What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, Zal, like stop. So
well, the benefit from a relationship like that is that y'all know each other. Y'all were friends at first, and that to me, that those type of relationships always kind of work out, because you were with somebody else, he was with somebody else at one point. Y'all were friends, like I said, and y'all pretty much know each other. Like even before y'all hooked up, y'all knew each other. So I think that's a good thing, if anything.
Yeah, it was, and that's what I mean. Like he's been amazing. Like it's like you say, he's just very like he's a man. You know what I mean? He's not like childish or anything. He's really has his head on his shoulders, like very good, and the way
Oh,
he
he's
talks.
Cuban. He's Cuban. You know how Cubans are. He has that machista, but not in a bad way. But a lot of people have always tried to peg him as like a machista, like the common machista. No, he's not like that. He's not the dominant. He doesn't have to be the dominant one but he's gonna play his role as a man, as a Latino, the strong Latino man. He's gonna play his role for sure.
Yeah, he plays his role.
I have a question, and again, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but does he have bigger hands than Mike?
Oh my God, you're gonna kill me.
Oh my god! I mean, he's like,
You make me cough and everything. Jesus, good.
No, he's got big hands.
He's got big hands. But you know what they say about God, men with big hands, right?
I know.
No, you don't know?
Big gloves, big
Big
gloves,
gloves,
baby.
big gloves, big ass gloves. That's a myth, by the way. That's a myth. Big hands doesn't equal. I got the smallest hands, and yeah, let me stop playing. Let me not go. I'm only kidding. Let's keep it respectful. Vic, what are you doing, Vic?
I'm sorry. I figured people just wanted to know, but that's an important thing, it seems.
Yeah. Now, Vic, let me ask you this, and you don't have to answer. You know how we do it here.
I have very small hands, especially for someone my size.
No.
Oh, that wasn't it? Okay, go ahead.
Do you think in the future? Yeah, I know you have an ex-wife. Do you think in the future there's a another Miss Vic Ferrari, or you're not even thinking about that at this point in your life?
I'll never get married again.
Would you? Okay, not married. You've been
It
through
does.
that.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that I won't be with somebody or maybe cohabitate or anything like
Okay.
that. But
That's what.
yeah,
Yeah.
I won't. Yeah, I won't marry again.
You know why I asked you
And I
that?
know people
Because
say never say never, and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just that's that I don't see happening. But
and the reason I asked you that is that I don't think Zell was looking for a significant other so quickly, and it just happened to be. Sometimes God blesses us when we most need it. He puts people in front of us. So I think I mean, if anything, I hope you get a blessing yourself, my brother.
I appreciate you, man. I mean,
Yeah.
right now, for me, it's about my boys, about getting them through high school, and then I would like at that point to move out of California.
Yeah. Oh, you want to get out of Cali?
So
Yeah.
I do. I want to get out of Cali. I mean, I think if circumstances were different, we'd already be gone. Because my boys, they when we go on our road trips, man, there's places we've been that they're like, man, this is so much nicer and better. It's cheaper. It's all these different things. But given the circumstances, I can't. We can't uproot because my ex obviously doesn't want to go anyplace. But that's my thing. I'd like to be closer to the ocean again. I mean, I grew up right, in San Francisco, right by the ocean, and I do miss that. So that's so maybe Oregon. I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's just
How
so
about you,
I don't want to
Zeddy?
get into a
You
situation. So
you gonna stay in Vegas or I don't know where you at. Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to answer. That's another question. You don't have
Well,
to
yeah,
answer.
it's
Where you
pretty out there, but yeah, I'm in Vegas.
at.
Yeah, maybe like later on in life, like I wanted to move
Mm.
somewhere different,
New
especially
York, back
like
to New York, maybe. No.
not New York, maybe like PA or
Yeah, a fresh start. You want a fresh start.
yeah, and especially like how things get with Blaze, if it gets even more serious down the line, you know what I
Well, I
mean?
know he has a hell of a job. He has a really good
Yeah.
job. So yeah.
Yeah, so maybe down the line, like we'll see, what the future holds for us. Like if
Yeah.
we ever like move in together or you know what I mean? Like what happens.
Hey, I wish you the best of luck. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't expecting it to be this way because like how
But
we
that's the best way, though, Zaddy. If you think about it, you wasn't like gunning or it just kind of just happened. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
rather than somebody that you don't fucking know, you gotta go through the motions of getting to know them, and they have secrets, you have secrets, and then the whole nine. I couldn't imagine. I've been married so fucking long. I couldn't. I will be by myself for the rest. If for some reason it doesn't ever work out with my wife, which I really doubt. I wouldn't want to be with anybody else anyway, but I couldn't start over. I don't think so. It's just too much. Just too much work.
Yeah, no, it is like, but like with him, I don't know. It was just something in me that like like I don't know if it was the Cuban side or what, but like the way he would talk, it's like
Yeah.
damn it, So it was just like that feeling inside of me just woke up, and I would just get butterflies even now, even though we've been together for not even that long, but I just
Hey,
get
butterflies are good.
every
Yeah.
time I see him. Every time I'm around him, I'm just like, damn it, Blaze.
There you go. Who would have thought it? Who would have thunk it, huh?
Yeah.
Blaze and Zell kissing in the tree.
Yeah.
That's what's up, though. I'm really happy for you, Jet.
Thank you.
Sincerely, for sure. So Vic, let's see if Vic's still here.
yes, sir. I'm
Yes,
still
sir.
here.
So as far as the well, maybe not today. Maybe some later on this week we can talk about having some other guests. Actually, now that Giselle, actually, you said something earlier about having this little thing, and it kind of something just triggered. But I'll talk to you offline about it. Um, I have to maybe reach out to Tommy D. Maybe also. You cool with Tommy, right? So
Yeah,
okay, that's
we're
what's up.
so
There's a wealth of knowledge here in this YouTube streets. There really is, man. There's people with stories and journeys it's amazing. But
yeah.
it's not always drama. It's not always Mike Cerrone. It's not always
Like I think
Dave and this
when
and
it
that. It's
comes
you
to
know
this kind of like addiction or mental health, like people
mental health. Yeah,
this aside and actually just have a channel where you could just talk about it and we all have different stories, we all have different reasons
yeah,
of why we did it or whatever happened, you
right.
know and then after that, like, okay, go ahead, go bash me somewhere else, you know what I mean, go ahead and talk shit about me.
Well, one thing we talked about, me and Vic, is that you're not gonna ever get anybody that comes up and wants to share their journey and story is not gonna get ridiculed here.
Yeah.
But that's what we ask for from the audience to be respectful of people's journey. And it's not a safe space that I'm creating, but just be respectful. You can say you can talk you can talk about your opinion, but don't bash the people because I don't want to. Obviously, we don't want to trigger somebody or hurt somebody that's been through a tough journey and is
Sure.
sober. So that's not the goal. You know what I mean? And I know people can be brutal, but we can actually we control that. We control the chat basically. So if somebody gets out of line and attacks somebody that's on panel, well, they get timed out. And until and they don't stop, they get blocked. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. Because you're not here to get ridiculed. So it takes a brave person to come up and talk about their addiction and stuff like that. It's not easy, and I've seen people do it, and it's amazing how fluid it comes, and it comes genuine. And there's only a few people. I think Tommy, Jamie from the shit show. Now Uzel, you talk about it with such a confidence and it helps you. I hope it does. You're speaking on it. I hope it helps you in some type of way.
Oh yeah, no, it does. Because like I said, there's a lot of people out there who probably suffer from addiction or who don't want to talk about their addiction because they're scared that they're gonna get judged.
Ridiculed, yeah, yeah, I can understand that. You know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
People
So
can be
I
brutal sometimes,
totally
but
understand, but it's sometimes it's like it's good because you never know what the other person can know. Because a lot of people could come here on YouTube and act all tough or troll people and deflect of how they're actually feeling. Because maybe that person who's
that's
actually
actually a good point. That's actually a good
and
point. Yeah,
trolling, maybe they're suicidal, maybe they're
yeah,
on drugs, maybe they're having a difficult time in their life, and so they come on YouTube to try to be mean to others.
yeah. Well, hurt people, hurt people. That's the saying that people
Yep.
say.
Right.
Me and Vic talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
If
you
they're
know,
happy with their own life, they're not going to act that way. It's just, I mean,
yeah,
that's my feelings. And again, there are exceptions. I mean, it's not everybody, but generally, when you got such a dark and negative outlook on things, it's coming from within. And
yeah.
like Angel said, if I do a channel, I mean, I can't prevent people from clipping things or restreaming or bringing it to and talking about it on their channel, but I will not allow anyone to judge anyone or make fun of anyone in my chat. No matter, I don't know how long I've known them, or if you know what I mean. They'll be they'll
Right.
be they'll be removed,
Yeah,
warned, and then removed.
yeah,
It's got to be a safe place to talk about these. People say, "Oh man, YouTube's not a safe space. This isn't but in order to have these kinds of discussions, it has to be somewhat of a safe space, at least where you are, because otherwise, you're not going to want to talk about it. I mean, I got more things that I can talk about as far as mental health and all that, and I'm a little reticent to do it because then it's like, oh, this guy's this and that. But eventually, I will.
yeah. I was looking up something yesterday, and it's not called what's it called? It's like PSTD, but it's not. It's called it's a disorder. It's obsessive something behavior. So I always thought it was I thought it was something else for some reason. So I looked it up. So it's a disorder. It's something that like I have a little bit of it. I have to have. I'm like a neat freak, right? I have to have things straight and clean in a certain way and stuff like that. So there's people
You know
that
about obsessive compulsive? Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, obsessive compulsive disorder. It's not a behavior.
Mhm.
If you look it up on Google, it doesn't come up as a you know what I mean? It go Paul. I think it's Paul. So it doesn't come up like that. And the definition is really interesting. So it basically says people that have that possessive obsessive disorder, they been through something and maybe traumatic or something in their lives, so they kind of lock into things or people, I should say, and that's why they act like they act
Mhm.
sometimes. What's up, Paul?
Hey guys, how's everybody?
What's going on, buddy?
I'm
Hey,
good. Good. Hey Lily, how are you?
I'm
Yeah.
good.
Hey,
Hello
speaking
there.
of, they do a lot
Oh
of
my
drinking
God!
over there in Great Britain.
There goes the safe space.
Oh yeah, the safe space. The safe
The
space.
safe space is gone.
Yeah,
They're all
So,
gone.
how
it's
you
all
doing,
gone.
Paul?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm just trying to
Good,
work on the
good.
script. I'm not able to get out to do a live this week because the weather's pretty
Nice.
rubbish here.
Oh,
So
the weather's shitty in Britain, but that's not a
yeah,
surprise. It's always rainy and dreary in Britain. Is that true or is that a
is it?
myth?
That's actually a myth. It's actually a myth.
Really?
It's quite decent weather in the south. Depends where you go.
Okay, okay.
Because you've
So
got to remember, Britain's like 800 miles up and down.
yeah, I mean the movies and on TV it always looks dark and dreary, and I
Yeah,
expect a vampire to come out of some corner,
You're watching the wrong type of movies, mate.
Jack the
Yeah, because you're
Ripper or
watching. I was gonna
something.
say you're watching Sherlock Holmes and
Yeah.
and vampire
watching some
movies. Eh?
Yeah,
Peaky Blinders, you know.
Oh god, that's Birmingham. That's up north. I'm in the
Jack
south. It's
Jack the
totally different
Ripper
weather
or
here.
something. Yeah.
I'm actually closer to France than I am to Scotland.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's what's up. I've been wanting to go to France, if anything. France seems
Yes.
interesting to me
Yep.
for sure.
I can go to London and get a train straight to France or to use Central Europe.
Yeah, my I have a family member that lives in London. So I remember when I was
Yeah.
younger, they took me to like Buckingham Palace, like they took me
Oh,
to
really? You
yeah,
went to that? You seen that?
yeah,
Oh,
when
that's
I was
what's
young,
up.
so
I
yeah.
want to do that. I want to do
And
that.
there was like a ferry boat that I would get on, and I think we had to go across or something. It was pretty cool. Like I remember.
Would you go on vacation, Zelly?
Yeah, it wasn't always younger though. It was like I don't
Oh,
know,
wow.
probably like 12,
That's
13.
a trip to Europe, girl. Shit. I
Well,
would absolutely love that.
I'm just 30 miles southwest of London.
Nice, very nice.
So that's how close I am. So I'm sort of in between the coast and London there.
Nice.
Interesting. For sure. So what's up with your channel? I heard you changed your format or you're doing something else or something like that.
Yeah, I'm doing like more crimes and I'm actually doing location live. So one location live I've done was actually London.
Okay.
So I've done Westminster. So you've got Westminster Abbey and you got Horse Guards.
Yeah. Westminster, they have the dog shows, right? Is Westminster Oh, that's here in Pennsylvania. My bad. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Never mind.
yeah. We do have a dog show. It's called Battersea Dog Show.
Okay. 'Cause we have a
It's a big one.
Westminster over here. Dog show is like a
Yeah.
championship dog
But
thing they do. Yeah.
yeah, you can't do London in one day, so I'm going to do it in like several things. But I'm also doing like I'm trying to get out and show you a bit of the countryside,
Yeah,
and other weird places once the weather clears up.
yeah. We talked about that one time. Yeah, you should do some live shots of because London has a lot of interesting places, obviously.
Yeah, but there's more places than London.
Hey, look who's here.
Yep, you
Mr.
can go
Drinks in discussion.
Yeah.
Brian.
Oh,
What's going on, Brian?
Jeez, Brian's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go. I could go to Salisbury Cathedral, Winchester
let me drop the
Cathedral.
link
I
just in
could go
case.
to Brighton.
Yeah.
Go to Hastings or go to the Battle, which is the place where the Battle of Hastings is. So there's all around there I can do.
All right. Yeah, you should do that for sure. You should always. I would go live all the time if I lived in a place like London. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
People
but
are
it's
interested.
the money situation, mate.
No. Yeah, I know. It takes money to do stuff like that for sure.
Yeah.
You need some funding. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to do things, but I don't mind doing. Do what you have to do to do your own channel, don't you?
I guess so. You know what I mean? I don't really think about numbers. I think about putting putting good content out. If anything, that makes
Oh
any
no,
sense.
I'm not
Content
thinking.
that you can listen to without cringing. You know what I mean?
I am not. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
thinking about numbers. I'm just thinking about cost of getting there.
Yeah, exactly. One step at a
It's the cost,
time. It's
one step at a time. Get the cost of getting there because
Yeah.
sorry, because I need to go. If I have to travel to like Winchester, I'd have to catch a train, and that'd be like £20 or £30 just getting there by train.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. And then
So
yeah.
a meal there, or a few drinks. Just in case because you obviously want to get a few drinks where you're out, cold drinks, soft drinks, stuff like that,
Yeah.
and just have a walk around. Just all it can add up to 50, 60, 100 to £200.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this, Paul. I know that part of you guys like to drink a lot for sure.
Yeah.
Especially the Irish. I have a lot of Irish friends. How's the drug epidemic over there? Is there an epidemic? Is it really bad? Is it pills? Is it drugs? What's going on over there?
Depends on where you are in Britain, to be quite honest with you. If you're in the inner cities, it's really bad.
I'll ask you this: is in comparison to the United States, how bad is it?
Well, I haven't been in that scene for ages. When I used to live in Glasgow, it used to be a drug dealer in every single. They called it a close, which is like a tenement, which is 2 across and 3 up.
Right.
So there used to be a dealer in almost every single close in Glasgow.
Dealer of hard drugs or pills?
Any
like
type. Any type.
Okay.
Yeah, any type. I've seen shooting in my lifetime.
Oh wow.
I've seen gangs jump out with samurai swords and baseball bats.
Yeah.
So it depends where you go. You're talking about inner city or you're talking about outside.
Well,
I mean, there's a thing from here. They call it the country line drug dealers, where dealers from the countryside come in to take drugs from London, and it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit. You just need to know what is happening.
Yeah. Well, I would think I always thought that was kind of a little bit of liberal. Drugs over there weren't not legit. Obviously, they're not legal over there. I think it's only Amsterdam that's legal. I think, right?
Yeah, you're more liberal in the US than we are over here with drugs.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can have a smoke of cannabis or marijuana.
Well, now we can. Yeah.
Over here, it's a Class B drug, which means you can be arrested if you have it.
Yeah. Well,
so
it's a big debate. That's a discussion for another day.
Yeah, but that's
the legalizing of drugs, which I don't really believe in, but that's just me.
Like I say, you're more liberal in the US than we are. Than drugs are over here.
Yeah. Well, I was meant to ask you that, Vic. You believe in that legalizing the drugs? You think it helps? I guess, Vic.
Yeah.
That's just dumb. How about you, Zelly? You believe in legalizing drugs?
My bad. I'm sorry. I was sending something in chat.
I think it's a free ride to get high, man. You know why? Because it starts with weed. It's gonna wind up. They're already talking about having these cocaine and dope shops, opioids and whatever. I think
everything should be legal. I think everything should be legal and regulated.
Really?
Yeah, I think prostitution should be legal and regulated. I think cocaine, crack. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I think everything should be because look at like out in in the Bunny Ranch and places like that. They never have any cases of AIDS and things because they're tested regularly for venereal diseases. I mean, and as far as the drugs are concerned, if you legalize it, sure there might be some kind of a spike but I think overall it'll be treated as a disease instead of criminalized, because how many people are in prisons for years over some drug offense?
I agree with you on that part, but I don't want my doctor or the school bus driver that drives my grandkids to school.
Alcohol is legal, right?
Yeah. But you're not allowed.
Do you want your doctor? Right, but that's what I'm saying. Do you want your doctor or your school bus driver drunk? No.
No.
So it's the same thing. That's what I'm saying. It's treated the same way. like you can't drive high, you can't certain jobs you can't you can't test high. I think it should be, that's what I mean by regular. I don't think it just should be everybody could do anything anytime.
There's
mean,
a
I think it should be
professor.
regulated the same way. So
Yeah, I was watching Rogan one time, and there was a professor, a really famous professor, black professor, by the way, and he's been doing dope, injecting it for years. Like something like 20, 25 years. I'm not trying to find the name, and
yeah,
and he obviously he believes in legalizing dope and every type of drugs, and he seems to be, I don't know, he just seems regular. Like it's like you know, I mean, I think he's fortunate to have somebody to, paid for his education, which is probably his parents and all that. But he's functional. You know what I mean? Is there such a thing as a functioning drug addict? I think there probably is. I don't know.
well, I mean, a lot of the deaths and things are caused because things are laced and cut, and there's stuff in them and this and that. And if it's like again legalized and regulated, I think you eliminate a good deal of that. I mean, they criminalized prohibition criminalized alcohol, and then they realized, oh man, this is even worse now because you got the mob doing it. So again, that's my and there'll still be the illegal element. I mean, even though like in California, marijuana is completely legal in all forms, there's still people dealing weed. I mean, because you can get it cheaper and different things like that. But anyway, so that's my opinion. I think everything should be legalized. Yeah.
Well, all right. So what do you think? And I'll finish with this one. Why do you think the government decided finally to make it legal? Because there was prohibition with alcohol. They made it legit. The government gets a big cut. Now it's government regulated, all that. And they obviously it's about the money. Bottom line, it comes to money.
It's always about the money. It's always about the money.
So now I think it's the same things happening all over again, but just with drugs. I think the government has always been involved in some type of drug dealing. The amount of drugs that come into the United States.
Who do you think introduced crack into the U.S.? Who do you think created Kensington? The government. The government created all that.
People seem to lie to themselves, but the government has their hands on everything, and especially the drugs. So I've always said that.
They don't want people getting sober. They don't want Zell to stay sober. They don't want me to stay sober because it's less money, right? If we're out there committing crimes or doing things, keeps the cops, the judges, the jails. They want to jail us so they make money. I mean, there's no rehabilitation. It's
there's no money in the cure. There's no money in the cure.
And so that's why I'm saying if you're able to legalize it and treat it as a disease instead of as a crime, I think overall it'll be a better thing. Again, there'll be some rough patches, for sure. I mean, like here in California, you see guys rolling around driving, smoking a joint or ripping a bong at a stoplight, and I don't agree with that.
Right.
But it's overall in the long run, I think it would be a better.
I think there's a state near Texas that's experimenting with heavy drugs. I think there's actually I gotta look into it before I talk more about it because I want to be correct with what I'm saying. But I think there's some state that is experimenting and actually which is it's going to be, I don't know. I guess we will have to see how that turns out. You know what I mean? Giving people drugs and then they be able to work and function just like, I don't know. I guess I just don't see it. I guess because I live in Philly and there's Kensington's right there. So, and I see the downfalls of being on heavy drugs. So when I think of dope or crack, I think of those people, and those people don't seem to be functioning. So maybe my mind is I don't know, convinced or that's not gonna work. I don't know. But
well, what's going on now certainly isn't working. So
I mean, hopefully, hey, what's going on?
Supposed war on drugs.
Yeah, the war on drugs. Hey, how about say no to drugs? Nancy Reagan, huh? How'd that turn out?
Yeah, just say no. The dare.
Hey,
that was the most ridiculous slogans ever. Say no to drugs. That came out on SNL everywhere. Say no to drugs. Okay,
so
that works.
I'd like Americans' point of view on this one. So we've got a general election happening on the 4th of July. If the party that's still in wins the next general election, they're talking about national conscription or national service, which is like a national draft.
Oh,
Do
yeah,
you
listen.
think?
I'm sorry to cut you off, Paul, but I think internet got Portland streets filled with homeless, drugs addicts. Shit and shit. That's how. See, I knew it was some state out there that was experimenting. See, it didn't turn out well. You know what I mean? So, I don't see how it works. I don't know, but anyway, go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
Wait, real quick, I want to drop down.
All
And
right,
then
Zelly, thank you. Congratulations.
for having me up here.
Look after yourself, Zell.
Bendiciones, all that good stuff, and take care of yourself, girl. You know what's up.
Thanks. Bye.
Yep. Much love, Zell.
Yeah. So in Britain, we have if the next party, the party's in, that's in now, power gets in again. They're talking about national suffrage, which is to the Americans as a national draft. Do you think this is a wise move of what's happening?
Did you just ask a question?
Yeah.
Say it again, but a little slower.
Okay. So if the party gets in, that's already in power, gets in because we've got a general election happening.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing back the national service, which is the draft to you guys.
Oh, okay. All right.
So all 18s must join the services. Do you think this is a wise move?
Fuck no. To bring back the draft? I don't know, man. That seems really radical to me. Especially when we're not really at war with anybody. Including, I don't think you guys are at war with anybody. Why would you implement
we're not.
the
No,
draft?
we're not. No, we're definitely not.
I mean, well, how does that help? How does that help anything? Forcing 18-year-olds to go. My father was fucking drafted. You know what I mean? To Vietnam War. So, and
yeah.
I don't believe. I wouldn't. Yeah, I will vote against it if anything. I mean, if you guys are really considering doing that, there has to be a reason behind that. I just don't see why. But
I think the reason why is Russian aggression in Ukraine.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see. But still, I don't. It doesn't make sense to force young kids to go to.
They're
to
not
the
exactly
army,
kids; they're
armed forces.
18-year-olds.
Well, to me, they're kids. They're 18. They're just out of high school, basically.
18's different over here. 18 you can drink. 18 you can vote.
Right.
So it's not you're technically an adult once you reach 18.
I don't know. I see that like something. I don't know. That's not going to turn out right by doing that.
You've seen it. You see, it's more like an act of aggression.
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be an uprising. There's gonna be some type of I don't know. I don't think that the youth over there is gonna agree with that.
Have you seen the youth over here?
No, they're pretty aggressive. I think that when they stand for something, they really go out there and they speak up. I've seen it. I know that there's a lot of violence involved, a lot of throwing of rocks and bottles I've seen on TV, but I don't think it'll go through. I don't think so. I hope not anyway.
It's interesting to get like American perspective on this, because does that mean if this ever happens, would America get the draft back?
Well, I don't think so. In my opinion, I don't think America will ever adopt that again.
So I believe everybody should have to serve. But I kind of mentioned this the other day in your chat, Paul. And I believe in the universal. I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. Subscription. But I don't believe it necessarily has to be military. I believe you should have to register, and then, like we have here, but I think you should have to register, and I think everyone should have to serve 2 years. You could do Red Cross, you could do military, you could do.
Don't the Iranians do that? What is it?
You can do.
Yeah.
Peace Corps. I mean, just something to give to the country, and I think there'd be more pride, because I think there's a lot of pride in people that served the military and served the country, as opposed to what got to my generation. A lot of us didn't, so I think that's kind of lacking. But I don't think it necessarily has to be military, right? For those that are conscientious observers, or whatever you want to say. But once you're registered, now, like here, we registered 18, and if there is a war, then they can start drafting. But I think everybody coming out of high school, 18, whatever, should have to put 2 years of service to the country. That's my opinion.
I think I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm on the flip side of that because that takes away your freedom. America's based on freedom. You know what I mean? That's you're free to do, study, go. You can enlist if you want. I don't know. It just takes away that freedom, and it's good to serve your country. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate sacrifice is to go to war for your country and all that.
But I'm saying it doesn't necessarily have to be military.
I see. I see. Okay.
You could join the Peace Corps. You could join the Red Cross. You could join the Habitats for Humanity. I don't know, whatever's out there. I don't know exactly all.
But see, what you're saying is that it has to be like an obligation. You have to do the Peace Corps, right?
Yes.
See, I think people will have a problem with I have to go do 2 years to go on with my life, and if I want to be a doctor, I still have to do the 2 years. And to me, I don't know. There's going to be a little bit of pushback.
Okay, well, maybe then you could do something. You could do, there's Doctors Without Borders. You could join and be a volunteer, maybe in a field of something that you want to get into in your life.
Well, that
and now
sounds
you have
better.
practical experience. Now
Right.
you have practical experience going into your college years.
That's it. That sounds more feasible. It's going to help them in their career later on. So yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, if you put it that way. Go ahead, Paul. You want to say something?
Yeah, but it doesn't. If you have got freedom, doesn't that mean responsibility to uphold the freedom?
Yes.
You'd have to do something for
Well,
your country.
yeah,
To avoid
I see what you're saying.
having your freedom, but you must do something to get it.
Internet guy says, yes, actually some interesting. Paul, are they bringing up the draft or registration drafts or what we have here on the current time? I absolutely think you should do 2 years of community service on the federal, state, or local level. Okay. My oldest brother was an English professor in the early years of his career. He taught low-level freshman English. He said 75% of students were not emotionally prepared to learn on their own. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, how many people coming out of high school really know what they want to do, right? You get pushed into, like in my case, I got pushed into college and flumbled around in there because it seemed better than working, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And people changing majors all the time, they're just not sure. It just gets you a responsibility, man, to be, to do something. And again, I think there's a lot of pride in the country, and it's just some of it's fake pride. Yeah, we're gonna get everybody. I'm talking about just pride and service to the country. And I agree with Paul. I mean, they say freedom isn't free, right? So you got to do something to either protect or enhance those freedoms and opportunities that we do have. So
Also, if an 18-year-old
and legalize prostitution, don't forget about that.
If an 18-year-old joins who's never had been to college, who's got no qualifications, who's got nothing like that, and they make him join like the military, where you could actually learn to become a driver. You could actually learn to do something, have a skill. Isn't that being beneficial towards
you
the
guys
country?
actually convinced me right here, right now, that I think it is a good idea. Between Internet God, you and I think, you know what? The thing was, I remember that the hook was you get 4 years of free college if you join the army or something like that. Was it? I don't know if they still do that.
Yeah, that was the old GI.
Yeah, the old GI thing, right? So, how many people actually made it to came back to the U.S. and actually went to college? It had to be very few. So it was what was it called? A GI
Bill.
What was it? Bill. The
GI Bill.
Yeah.
GI Bill.
Yeah. I don't know.
Even I knew that, and I'm British.
I'm sorry, Paul. I don't know the GI Bill. I'm so sorry.
Jeez, get with the program, mate.
My dad told me I don't have to cut out. Let us know I was living. I think he told me that. Let us know where I don't go. I see.
Yeah,
yeah.
From our point of view, if we got, there's high unemployment here. There is high unemployment. But if you're like a 16-year-old and you're leading towards 18 and you're still doing like a McDonald's type job,
yeah,
wouldn't it be beneficial for them to actually join the service and get themselves a qualification free while getting paid for it?
Yeah. we have here what is called the Job Corps. You know what I'm talking about, Vic, right? Job Corps.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Job Corps kind of prepares you. It's for like for kids that are they gotten in trouble. They're almost adults, and they still have a chance to kind of right themselves. So the Job Corps, what it does, it kind of takes these kids and it teaches them a trade. If you want to, it actually works. My brother, one of my younger brothers, he actually went through the Job Corps process, and thank God for Job Corps, because if it wasn't for Job Corps, you probably would have been either in jail or dead. So.
Hey, I'm gonna stay up here, but I'm gonna step away for a minute. Okay,
No,
I'm gonna mute up
I'm
and
actually,
step away for a minute, but I'm still up
no,
here.
no.
Okay.
Hold up. Listen, I'm gonna say goodbye now, Vic. Thank you
Oh.
so much for coming up,
Well,
Paul
you don't have to
Morrison.
end it. I'll be right back.
Oh, go ahead. Well, go ahead. I'll wait a little while. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah. So, Paul.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So the GI Bill.
Okay, so the GI Bill. I hardly know nothing about it, but I just know the name.
I actually thought they still offered college or some type of incentive to actually serve your country. So the GI Bill was back, I guess maybe in the 70s, where you went to you fought for your country. I don't think it was all the armed forces. I think it was just the army.
Yeah,
I could be mistaken though.
Over here we've got like, if you join the army, we've got a corps called the Royal Logistics Corps, and that involves driving, deliveries, it involves catering and stuff like that for the army. And with there, you can get qualifications and stuff and get your driver's license.
Oh, guys, hey, my bad. He says you can still get military scholarships. Of course, you can. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
You can still get scholarships. So,
but just thinking, if it was because we've got like a high unemployment over here for youngsters. If you got like 18 and you've got no job and there's no prospects, joining the military for 2 years may be a good thing, because then you can get like a qualification at least.
Right. I mean, it sounds so. I don't know why they haven't done it yet, Paul. To tell you the truth, I know. I think it's. I couldn't be mistaken. I know. I think it's in Israel. I think they have to serve 2 years. Some type of military. I'm not sure what. Yeah, and then they can do whatever they want with their lives.
Yeah, they do it in Switzerland too.
In Switzerland too. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Listen, we can the United States can adopt a lot of things from other countries, but this country being so damn prideful, I don't. Whatever works. It's like United States is number one in drugs and crime, while China is probably, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It's probably
don't forget about mass shootings. We got the corner market corner.
Yeah,
I actually think Brazil actually corner the US on those ones.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I did wash my hands for anybody that's curious.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. But
yeah, Brazil Brazil's on. I think Brazil's above America on mass shootings.
I mean, we're number one in some of the worst things in the world. Oh my God,
Well, damn, we gotta pick it. We gotta pick it up, huh, Paul?
Yeah, you got to do it, sort it out, mate.
Yeah, but see, whatever worked for India, China, if they have the least amount of, they should be gunning for that. Well, what's happening over there? What are we not
no
doing?
pun intended. No pun intended.
Exactly. But you know what I mean, right? It's like, there's actual countries that don't go through what we go through. So what's the fucking deal?
I mean, I could say Britain, there's hardly been any mass shootings in a school or anything. Last school one I know was Dunblane, and that was in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, going postal was created. That term is created here. Postal, because a postal worker back in I don't know when, just shot up a post office. You know what I mean? It's like it's actually a term now. Oh, he went postal.
It was very common back in the I said late 90s, maybe.
Yeah, what was going on back then? The mailman.
I don't know, but I stopped criticizing my mailman. I can tell you that was very nice to my mailman.
Just leave you a nice cash tip for Christmas, there, mate.
Be friendly to your mailman when you go to the post office. Exactly. Very kind. Be very.
Excuse me, sir. I think you gave me the wrong letter.
Yeah, there was something going on, man, because that's now a term forever, going postal. So I don't know what was going on with the post office. Maybe a lot of work, a little bit of money, something was going on back then. I don't know what it was, but and about the serial killers, I think we're number one in serial killers too. So explain that one to me. Yeah,
I think we're about due though. It's been a while. We're
Okay.
about due for a
Per
good
capita.
serial
Okay.
killer again.
There are not enough
See,
people
Yeah.
smoking drugs in America. I don't know.
Internet guy said there are quite few
Yep.
countries that have higher shooting rates than the United States per
Yeah.
capita. I would like to see the list, like from 1 to 10.
Okay, there's
Yeah.
was it Statista? I think does it.
That's number one.
No, that's the site if you want to go to look at your.
Oh,
stats.
okay. What's it called?
Hold on, let me find out for you.
Yeah, write it in the chat or in the back so I can. I want to see the number ones and everything. You know what I mean? Next time we go live, we'll have the number ones and drug addiction and mental whatever.
Right, I put it in backstage. Hold on. It tells you can find out lots of. It's what I use sometimes for my stats. So it's pretty trustworthy.
Stats are important for sure. Having receipts and your facts straight for sure.
Yeah,
that's why I hesitate to put anything else sometimes. I'm like, well, I'm not sure. I'm like, well, don't take my word for it. I have to do a little bit more.
That's
homework.
that's one of the companies I use.
Oh, I see. Okay, Okay, that's what it is. www.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do everything.
The worst country for crime is actually Mexico. It's got some of the worst cities in the world.
But yeah, but that doesn't surprise me. Mexico, but see, Mexico also is not bigger than the United States. It's very small in comparison to the United States.
Yeah, but
So
this is per crime per
cap-
city,
per
and it
city,
tells you
okay.
some of the Mexican cities are the actual worst in the world.
Well, you know why that is, Paul?
Why is that?
You know why that? I can tell you why that is. Because lately, a lot of the immigration has been the opposite, and Americans are actually sneaking into Mexico now.
Yeah, that's probably
And so that
right. They're climbing over the wall. They're climbing over the wall there.
Yeah, I have a
Anyway.
Mexican friend of mine. He tells me, Mexican's beautiful. That Mexico's always been better than the United States. I'm like, so what the fuck you keep sneaking the fuck out? If it's so beautiful and it's so better than the United States, you're always sneaking the fuck out. Yeah.
I can't remember if it's right. One of the worst cities actually in the world for crime, and it's one that it's in the US. Just one, and it's in the top 10 is Baltimore.
Baltimore,
yeah,
drugs. When I think of Baltimore, I really do think of it's up there. It's got to be up there for sure.
Yeah,
I've always heard St. Louis is pretty bad too. I've heard St. Louis is pretty.
St. Louis. What's next to St. Louis? What is the one that always gets flooded? What's it called? The one that New Orleans. New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Bad too. Yeah.
New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans.
Yeah, it's very small, but there's a little bit of a crime issue going on over there too. But I tell you what, the cities that suffer the most are the ones with gangs. Obviously, the gang, if you think about gangs nowadays, it's not really out there. The Bloods, the Crips, they don't talk about it as much as that when they used to in the 80s and 90s. But here in Philly, there was never gangs. There was gangs, yeah, but like kind of, Mickey Mouse type of, not out there really doing danger to society type shit. But Kansas City, okay, let me see. I would never think this. Check this out. Kansas City is a top 5 for decades. Kansas City, I'm thinking Cowboys. Kansas City. I'm talking about, like cows and motherfucking, I would never have thought that. Look at that. That's crazy.
Right, so you got St. Louis and Kansas City, both. So you don't think of Missouri as being this dangerous state, but in the inner cities, it is. It is all kinds of different reasons that I don't think we should get into.
Yeah, the cities that they talked about the most in the 90s and in the 80s was always New York, Philadelphia, or Los Angeles. You know what I mean?
Detroit.
You know what I mean? Boston. They probably threw Boston in the middle there. But,
close to me, it's Oakland. Oakland's
you're pretty close.
And
to
East
Oakland,
Palo Alto. East Palo Alto was, but the tech took over. So East
Yeah,
Palo
but
Alto is now one of is a
but
safe
Oakland
place.
isn't that bad anymore. Not like maybe like the movies back in the night. It's not that bad, right? It's pretty chill now, or is it the
So
same?
this is
Well, I
what
mean,
I've just pulled up.
there's huge homeless encampments though there
Oh, I
now.
So
see.
this is the
Huge,
ranking
huge.
of the most dangerous countries in the world in 2023 by ending rate. I'm not going to say word, but you know what I mean. And this is per 100,000 inhabitants. Guess who's number one?
Let me guess. You said in the world,
Yeah,
Africa.
Africa's a continent.
Well, that's what I meant.
No,
go
guess
ahead.
which country?
I want to guess. I know I'm gonna guess wrong. Hey, you take a guess, Vic.
Oh boy, I don't want to say U.S., but
Yeah, 'cause that's the easier. That's the easy
I'll
answer.
say I don't know. I'll say Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
No, both are wrong. It's St. Kitts and Nevis.
Who?
St. Kitts and
What?
Nevis.
What the fuck is St. Kankakikas?
Yeah,
And
what is
Nevis.
that, like Jamaica or something? What is that? I don't
That
know what
sounds
it
like
is.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
so there's okay, so what's the second then, do you think?
I was going to say, what's the first one that we've heard of?
Afghanistan says senior citizen South. Afghanistan.
No, it
Yeah,
says
that
per
was my
100
guess.
most dangerous countries in the world in 2023 by
Say the first one. So I want you. I want.
St.
Where is that first one, Paul?
Yeah,
St. Kitts and
where's that?
Nevis. That's the Caribbean, I think.
Oh, that's what.
Caribbean.
That's
Yeah,
what Vic said. Yeah, it sounds like
yeah.
Jamaica and
Jamaica.
and,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the Caribbean.
crazy
So
there.
guess what's second?
Yeah. Okay.
So second would be if you're going with that
Somalia.
first.
Somalia.
I'm gonna guess.
No.
If that's number one, I'm gonna say second is gonna be still somewhere in the Caribbean, I would think. So I'm gonna go with what's next to Santo Domingo? What's it called? What's next to Santo Domingo? What's that little country called?
About Venezuela.
How about Venezuela? Let's throw Venezuela out there.
No, Venezuela's not in the top 10.
Lots of pirates there. Haiti.
what's
That's
what's
what I'm
two
gonna say.
then?
Haiti. What's two?
Haiti's in the top 10.
Oh, senior citizen.
Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Nice.
Yeah. Haiti. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's two?
Haiti.
Jamaica.
Oh, Jamaica.
Okay, there you go, Jamaica. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're keeping it in the Caribbean, basically.
Most Caribbean countries for St. Kitts and Nevis, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Turks and the Calacious Isles, Ecuador, Lestorio, St. Lucia, Haiti, Belize, Trinidad and Tobago. That's your top countries for murder rates.
Yo, let me tell you something. All those countries, well, you know what they got in common?
All poor countries.
Hot.
Yeah.
It's fucking hot as hell. Heat equals fucking crime, people. People are mad.
But they're all poor countries, though.
Yeah,
Technically.
yeah, you could tell. Yeah, especially Haiti and those places.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Not a lot of work.
Yeah,
not a lot of industry like chances are.
Yeah.
But that's the most dangerous countries in the world.
Thank you for that, Paul. I appreciate that. But now
you're very cool.
Yeah. Now that's because of lack of work and stuff like that. Obviously, we know why. People are just out there doing crime to feed their families. Basically, it's the only option, I guess. You know what I mean? God bless them. I don't know much about them. Yeah.
That's not crime. That's actually
murder.
Ended a person.
Yeah. Yeah. Allegedly. My bad. I can't say the M word.
Yes, so that's but that's per 100,000 inhabitants, though.
Isn't that amazing, though, Vic? That's small of a country.
I thought everybody in Jamaica was Irie, man. I thought it was just Irie over there.
No, man. No. It's a pretty bad. It's honestly one of the worst countries for actual crime in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I think somewhere in
That's
Africa.
crazy.
They were talking about somewhere in Africa where the diamonds. I think it's really bad somewhere. Africa is very big. I think it's Somalia or something like that.
You got all the. If you talk about Africa, you've got to talk about colonialism, and after that, you've got to talk about their leaders skimming off the fat off the cream, or the cream off the milk, and taking money for themselves, letting their people go hungry while they drive around in fancy cars and have.
I heard say that Africa is actually one of the richest countries in the world, maybe number one, but because of what you just said of the thievery and the disgusting of just not helping the poor people, that's why people become rich. How do you think rich people become rich?
Right. So what you're saying is it's 99% of the wealth and 2% of the population.
Pretty much.
God, where else have I heard that?
America?
Oh yeah, America, right? I knew that sounded familiar. I couldn't figure out where.
Everywhere, you know.
I mean, that's just, yeah. I mean,
you find the countries of the biggest population of billionaires. You have some of the poorest of people.
Isn't that crazy? You know, where the billionaires are. You know, it's like to me, it's like mind fucking melting. It melts my fucking brain to think that there's billionaires, but in the countries that where they're the poorest and they're going hungry.
Yeah, I mean, look at India. How many billionaires do come from India? Yeah, how many billionaires do come from India?
Yeah, it is another country that I think China's amazing. I want to visit China. I think China is light years ahead of us in technology and all that.
Okay, so in the Forbes World Billionaires list, it features 200 Indians.
Jesus, that's sad.
Wow.
Yep. The 5 top countries in the world for billionaires. This is by capita. Is US number 1.
All right.
China.
India.
Yep. Germany.
What about
Russia?
Germany number 4.
What about Dubai?
Yeah. No, not Dubai, because Dubai, you see, Dubai, there's only a small family that holds all the wealth.
Oh, okay.
And Brazil is ranked 7th. It's got 4 billionaires.
Beautiful Brazil. Brazil's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the end one is the UK, and above them is Canada.
Canada's what, number 5 or 6?
Canada's number 9. Britain's number 10.
Yeah. Well, Canada's always been less crime, not that much drug activity. I mean, there's drugs, but not as bad, I guess. But I think they're always low on crime, aren't they? Canada? I could be wrong.
Oh, Canada's always crime in Canada, but the US has got 800.
In comparison, I mean, in comparison, yeah.
Well, you know, it's different how you do it, isn't it?
But it's so fucking. You know,
I used to think Canadians were.
Yeah, go ahead.
Were really nice, sweet people, and then I came to YouTube.
Yeah, no, get them drinking the maple syrup and they go off their heads. It's a sugar rush.
I knew he was going there. I already know it. But you know, my thing is, Canada's right there. We're in border. We could just step across the fucking line. Canada's right there. So you know, again, what I said earlier, whatever's working over there, why can't we adapt or learn what they're doing right to keep the drug epidemic low? Or to whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
You know, it is. I mean, when you talk about the US, you got, like I said, US has got 813 billionaires.
Wow, that is that. So we have the number of billionaires we're number 1 in that.
You're number 1, and China's got 406.
Oh damn! I would have thought there were more billionaires in China for some reason.
No. US has got the more capitalism rules in the US.
Yeah. So we can actually, with the billionaires that we have in the United States, we can eradicate homelessness.
Yeah.
Nobody should go hungry if the billionaires were to.
Technically, Bill Gates can buy a small country and run its military forever now.
Wow. Fucking Gates, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
how about the other guys? He's still the richest guy. The what was his name? The Bezos.
Jeff Bezos, Cock Rocket.
Yeah.
Bezos. What was the cowboy guy that bought all the land? What was his name? Turner.
What I found amazing about Bezos got divorced, right, and was still the richest man in the world.
Oh yeah,
really.
And he owns a rocket
Let's give
shaped,
away half
and,
his shit. He was just like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
and he owns a rocket shaped like a cock too.
Chinese billionaire are. Go ahead.
Have you
Let's see
seen
the
his rocket?
CCP.
Calm down, Paul. Calm down.
No, but it is. Have you seen his? Have you seen his
If you
rockets
watch the
he's
news, you
built?
would think that we live in the workplace.
It's shaped like a cock.
Yeah, Google
No,
Jeff
hey,
Bezos'
listen.
rocket.
I'm a proud American. Believe it or not, I'm proud to be an American. I think we're number one. In my opinion, after, and this might be controversial, I think after 9/11, you know what I mean? We kind of took a hit there, but I think we're back on. I think we're
I
back
don't
on
know.
track.
I'm thinking 9/11. After 9/11, patriotism reached a high level in US because
Yes, it did.
that
I
was the
actually did.
first
A lot of
time.
people. Yeah.
That was the first time any foreign person has hit US soil properly since Britain invaded. Since Britain attacked Washington.
I mean, the number of people that signed up for the military was incredible, amazing. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So
sure.
Yeah, but the high end of patriotism in America.
Divorced Bill Gates got. Oh, Melinda. Okay, Melinda was his wife. I'm guessing Melinda divorced Bill Gates. Got 12 billion. She said in
Oh,
an interview
Gates,
she
yeah.
divorced him because of his dealings with Epstein.
Epstein.
Oh, controversy. Okay, we had Pearl Harbor. That's interesting. That's interesting. You know what? Dr. Dre got divorced, right? And you guys probably heard this. His wife wanted just absorb. You know her. You know it's just amazing to me how much he's when they divorce, how much the women want. It's not just half. They
Yeah,
gotta
tell me
pay.
about it.
They want you know, she has a charity. All right, I'm just gonna very simple. One of the things she wanted, it was a charity, right? So she wanted him to give her, I don't know, some money, millions of dollars for charity. It made no sense. It's like, okay, he has the money, all this, and you know, no nuptial, whatever prenuptial agreement or whatnot. But to tell the court, well, I want him to give me $2 million a month because I want to give that money away. Wouldn't you be pissed? I don't care how much money you got. You could probably afford it, right? You could probably afford it. But, you know, it's like, is that sticking it in, or that's just kind of just throwing wound in the fucking, throwing salt in the wound, right? Jesus Christ. It's just so bad.
Wow.
A lot of things are gonna come out in the near future with the P Diddy stuff and the Epstein, and I think the Epstein thing is just it's just there's layers and layers. People are gonna.
They are saying that P Diddy case is going to be worse than Epstein case.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be worse. I think it's all equally disgusting to me, but that's just my opinion.
No, I get you, but they're saying the amount of allegations that are going to be put through is going to be.
I think more will come out in the Diddy case for certain reasons.
Because it doesn't involve the political elite.
Right.
What I've learned in all this, if anybody invites me and says, "Hey, I got this island, man. You want to come and visit me on my island?" I'm just gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on any private island visits moving forward in my life.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say yes and just sit on the beach and just build myself a little thing on the beach there, a little hut.
Yeah, but you know what's sad? The people that are going to be implicated, a lot of them probably didn't participate. But for not saying
well, that's
anything,
what I'm saying. I mean,
they're going to be destroyed.
even if you sit on the beach, you're still on the list, man. You're on the list.
Yeah, I mean that's a shame because those people should have said something. You know what I mean?
Conspiracy music agrees.
Because the Epstein case involved royalty, involved political presidents, political power.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear about it.
No, that's why they took him out.
And a lot of white people.
Yeah. You believe in that suicide? He didn't commit suicide. They had a camera on him the whole time. So obviously he was taken out because he knew too damn much. I think P. Diddy is in the same because he knows a lot. And he has a lot of things. He has a lot of evidence, a lot of receipts that can potentially hurt a lot of people. So
it's like that Boeing case too, isn't it? Boeing made dodgy planes, and now a couple of people are dead because of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you think Boeing? You're talking about the airplane?
Boeing? Yeah, Boeing. They had massive faults in their planes. Some of two of the whistleblowers are now dead.
Yeah, but for years,
Has anybody
people-
I mean, anybody investigated Liz's part in any of this?
Oh, no.
Yeah, but for years, people have been talking about those planes are dangerous and they overlook a lot of things and they penny pinch on repairs and stuff. I mean, I don't know. And the people that didn't talk, yeah, why they taking them out? Because the money they have to on lawsuits they have to pay out. Yeah, I mean any type of job. Now, Vic, imagine they give you a job making 6 figures a year, but you gotta sign a contract that anything you see you can't talk about. Would you sign it? Would you take that job? So anything.
At this point, at this point in my life, no. Early in my 20s, I don't know.
I mean, but now knowing what you know now, which means anything under the sun, is what's it called?
Right.
Something clause. It's like you can't.
I would like to think my moral compass wouldn't allow me to do that, but
well,
but morals can be bought, obviously, right?
In my younger years, I'm not sure.
I've been in this situation. I used to work for the army. Well, I used to work for Contract Catering, and they used to employ chefs to work in the army camps. So if you work in the army camps, you've got to sign the Official Secrets Act. So officially, I can't tell you anything that I saw in that army camp.
So what happens if you speak on it? You go to jail?
I can technically go to jail. Yeah, I can technically go to prison.
Yeah.
Because I signed that. I've signed the Official Secrets Act.
Yeah, I wonder what are the maybe you get sued. You have to go to jail if you break that privacy thing here in the United States, but you can get a lot of trouble for sure.
Oh yeah, you could get I could get into a lot of trouble if I said. It's very doubtful because I was just a chef and I hardly saw anything. All I've done is my stories from the kitchen. But if I went into detail, I could. There's a chance, very, very slim, very small chance that I could be investigated, and I could, because I signed that act, I could be sent to prison because of it.
Listen, to tell you the truth, when I saw Will Smith get up and slap Chris Rock, I said, "This is the beginning of the end of Hollywood." I said, "This is it." Forget about the Sammy Davis Juniors of the past years, the Hollywood that used to be. This is fucking nuts. You know what I mean? He is one of the richest, most famous men in the world, and he is slapping somebody on stage, a fellow actor, comedian.
And it made it worse. Everybody clapped.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, he's so fucking unhappy. He's stuck in an unhappy marriage. It's like, but he should be. Anybody would think, well, with all the money and success, and that he's happy. No, he's miserable as fuck. You know what I mean? And you know. Whatever.
He should have got some balls. He should have divorced his wife when she was shacked up with that 20-year-old.
Right. I mean, that's I don't know. That's open for debate, I guess. But
I would have kicked her. I would have kicked her.
But you know,
I want to know what Paul put in the meatloaf.
The chef's special sauce, mate.
Yeah, come on. We're doing an investigation on Paul's meatloaf that he served.
I do know stories about kitchens, about army chefs and tins of sausages.
I've heard some bad stories too. Trust me, I've heard. Yeah.
You never, if you find a tin of sausages of one taken out the middle, you do not touch them.
What's that about? I don't know. Anyone ask?
Yeah, just walk away. Just walk away. Leave it alone.
Will Smith, the kid who stole all the secrets and disturbed them on the Discord, is going to prison. The kid that stole secrets.
Yeah, but that's stealing secrets. What I'm saying is, if I could technically, it's so minuscule, it's unbelievable. But technically, if I'd said saw anything in the camp, and I told you guys about it, I could land myself into a heap of trouble.
The lesson is money does not buy happiness, brother. It really doesn't, bro.
And neither does telling on the government.
Right.
Yeah, just keep your mouth shut and walk away.
Yeah.
Speaking of money and happiness, have I addressed the fact that I think prostitution should be legal?
Let's talk about
that. We're gonna do something about that. Me and you, Vic, we're gonna be the head of the sphere to get prostitution.
That's right, man.
Legalized in every state.
Yep.
Technically, it's illegal. It's legal over here if you have one prostitute to a house.
Well, you know what? Marriage is legalized prostitution in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
no. It is, but we're not going there.
We're not going.
I'm
I'm
now
only
muting
kidding.
up and letting you guys handle that one. I'm out.
No,
By
nothing
the
about
way,
that one.
it's
That's
all
not nothing to do
jokes.
with me.
And I'm only playing. Obviously, I'm only playing. But I think legalizing prostitution. I think. Isn't that the number one? What was that?
I
Something
don't
about
think it
prostitution.
should be legalized. I think it should be
But
decriminalized.
it's
There's
one
a
of the oldest
Okay.
jobs in the United. Isn't that one, right, Vic? Isn't that one of the oldest
Yeah,
jobs?
the world's oldest profession. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, why
Yeah.
not? Why not make it legal? You know.
So let me ask you this: Why should it be illegal, right, to sell something that you can give away?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
well,
listen.
I do know a way around this. If you want to know the way around this,
I got my pen. Let's hear it.
okay. So if you ever grab somebody, if you ever take a lady of the night, get a video camera.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would grab her, Paul. We're
No.
No grabbing, Paul.
Okay.
Allowed.
If you ever purchase a lady of the night, get a
Okay.
video camera and tape it. Then you can get away with it by saying you're making an adult movie.
Loophole, huh?
Very, very good.
Very
Oh,
crafty.
yeah,
Very
okay.
crafty, there, buddy.
There you go.
Okay.
You know,
so
we had-
grab. Let's see, grab and record. I got it.
You grab and record, then you're making
Grab and
entertainment. Yeah, you're making entertainment there.
Okay.
But you
so
don't record the grabbing part, I don't think. I
No
don't think you
grabbing. Yeah, you shouldn't.
Well, you could do with her consent.
But you know, listen. Here we have a lot of Chinese massage parlors.
over
quotes,
here too.
Quotes.
Yeah,
So
over here.
what happens is they get busted every like 3-4 times a year. You hear they get busted. Why? Because of the happy endings that they give. Why? Listen, legalize that shit. The government makes money. They make money, and everybody's happy. And those frustrated married men that are not getting enough.
Yeah, only problem is, Angel. The reason why they criminalize that is because most of those girls are smuggled into the country and work under slave ship.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
the
that's
human trafficking element, right?
The human trafficking, yes. Yes. There's a lot of that shit going on.
So yeah, it
I am
happens
shocked.
over here too.
Listen, I didn't know, to tell you the truth, that human trafficking was so fucking bad. So
It's massive.
I watched one of those documentaries on
And
Netflix.
if you got
I was shocked.
If you got a gypsy community, if there's a gypsy community, I'm not saying this does happen a lot, but they're known for human trafficking too.
Yeah. I mean,
Some gypsies.
The selling of people, it just boggles my fucking brain. It just doesn't want to accept it.
It's
The
mostly
trafficking of
from
children. And
yeah.
it's disgusting.
There used to be a lot from Eastern Europe come over to Britain. People wanted to come over here, and they used to say, "Okay, you come over here, you pay me a fee, then you work it off." But then they charge interest, and you continue working it off and working it off and working it off.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's something I heard that happened
get out of
in
it,
other countries. Like you said, I never thought it was that bad here in the United States, and it's actually pretty fucking bad, bro. There's even an organ. I heard something about an organ thing in Mexico that it's pretty nasty shit going on out there. Really, really creepy shit.
Senior Citizen Soul said something. He said Vietnamese, Chinese, and Russian mafia do the majority of this. This is very true because a couple of years ago, there was about
Vietnamese,
13
Chinese,
to
and
14 Vietnamese died in a truck being smuggled into Britain.
Wow. Wow. I mean, they're like cargo. If you ever see this, man, Vic, I'm telling you, they put them in these cargo things, and they're like less than humane.
Yeah.
No water. The way you would think they would do it in a better way. You want to take care of the people that you're. You know what I mean? No, it's inhumane, bro. It's like, it's a burn to hell. Anybody that's doing that type of shit, man. Yeah. I guess anything's for sale nowadays, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, you talk in Britain, we've got a problem with illegal immigrants crossing the English Channel, and that's one of the world's busiest channels. And what they
Right.
do is they bring them in by dodgy boats, and then these dodgy boats cannot cross this. It seems a little stretch of sea. It really is, but it's dangerous and choppy.
What are the people that
Yeah.
are the immigration? If we like, obviously here in the United States, Mexico, and I think it's not only Mexico, by the way. People always talk about Mexico, but people from Ecuador. It's a lot of people trying to sneak in the United States. By the way, it's just not the Mexicans. So who's trying to sneak into your country? By the way,
People from Iran, Afghanistan, people from Africa,
from all over the world. Yeah,
from
okay.
all over. We even had one American try. He tried this one American tried to claim political asylum in Britain.
What the fuck?
And they laughed him out and sent him back home.
Obviously, because we live in a free country. What the fuck is he crying about?
He tried to come over here and claim political asylum.
I would ridicule, I would roast the fuck out of that guy, whoever that is, if I saw him.
But we've had like people from the Middle East claim they're like 15 and they've been like 30 and 40.
Yeah.
And they've been like set, and you can see there was these people used to say instead of saving the children, it was shave the children.
Shaved? Oh,
yeah. Because because you get people, you get like male people of 30 or 40 trying to be 15.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so they'll go in.
Oh my God.
Instead of save the children, shave the children.
Shave the children. A lot of Syrians tried to get into the UK and Germany to get out of the war zones. See, but that's political asylum, isn't that like trying to get out of?
Yeah, but it takes because from Syria to Britain, you've got to cross about 5 or 6 free countries.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been such an interesting. I don't even want to end the stream, but it's been such a. Paul, thank you so much for coming up, sharing your knowledge. We could do another top 10 or something else next time. I go live. So, tune into Paul Morrison's channel, guys. I'm gonna go visit the next time you go live. You'll see me right there, Paul. For sure.
I'll definitely see you. You're very welcome.
If you throw a link down, I'll come up and whatever. I don't know a lot, but the little I know, it's.
I'll just go around different places and you can see a bit of Britain.
That'll be nice. And Vic Ferrari, obviously.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, my
Right
friend,
on,
my brother. Vic
Thanks
Ferrari
for having me,
will be here often, and in hopes that I say within, I don't know, whatever we have his channel up and going. That's my mission with Vic. He's very interesting. It's just not about the addiction part that I find Vic interesting. It's his whole take in life. I think he's unique in the way he thinks about life itself. So I want to expand not only the addiction thing, but mental illness, other things to talk about that you can relate to, probably. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't know, we'll do the homework and find out.
We had a great talk today. See, we had a great talk today. No fun. We had a little bit of fun. We talked some serious stuff with Zell earlier, and now Paul, and threw out some ideas for people to think about.
Legalizing prostitution for Vic.
Yeah, legalize.
Hey, that's going to be the crux of my platform: is legalization of prostitution, man.
No, listen. You know what would happen if that happens? You know why I think it'll never work? The married women in the United States are not going to let that happen, because you understand what I'm saying? That's why I don't think it would. To be serious, I don't think the women in the United States are going to allow prostitution to become a thing.
I think you've just upset Vic there. I think he's going to go up. I think he's going to rage.
I'm just a realist. Think about it. You know what I mean? That means it becomes legal. So there are men, and in every corner there's a one of those brothels or whatever. That means the men can sneak away. You know what I mean? Under regulation, you don't catch it. Basically, you don't. It's nice and clean. It's
right, but that's the whole point. We're doing it anyway, and this way we're not bringing home any diseases.
No, I agree with you. I actually do agree with you, but I think the women.
Wait a minute.
You're trying to justify and rationalize this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm starting to think maybe this is just more of a me issue than a
Yeah, I
whole
think
thing.
it is. Step away from the prostitute. Step away. Leave the
Got
righteous
it.
alone.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
All right,
thank you so much.
gentlemen.
I
It's been
appreciate you
fun.
guys
It's
very
been a
much,
lot.
man. It's been
Thank you.
lots of fun. Thank you, everybody that came in. Hit that like button for the new Angel Found Life. Thank you very much, Misfits Forever. I'll throw you with a new intro that I got. I didn't play all of them, obviously, because
Right on.
I just wanted to get to the talking and having some
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
And
Doing
I'll
good, man.
I'll try
Doing
to go
good.
live sometime this week again. Let's see what happens. Just check out my community page. And thank you, Citizen Sal. Thank you to Prairie. Subscribe to Citizens and Sal. Obviously, he has a lot of content. Tommy, thank you for doing that clip earlier. Who else? Internet God, thank you for your insight. Very smart. I didn't know Internet God knew so fucking much, man. My goodness.
He's a
Nova,
great guy.
the shit show. Everybody was here. Drinks and discussion. Dagmar, thank you so much. Hey, Waffles was in the chat. All right. Hey, salute to Waffles. Yeah, whatever, man. All right, guys. Peace, love.
All right.
MWO for
Peace and
life.
love, everybody.
later on this week, hopefully. All right, guys? All right. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.